That's what I'm talking about. Hello, everyone. Welcome, everybody, to Day 3 of Adventures of Middle-earth Wilderland Adventures. Good to see everyone here today. I am your humble host, Arvin Eleron, also the Dungeon Master, the Lore Master, I should say, for this spectacular crew. Yes, I know you can hear the audio and don't see the video. I am on the road broadcasting this, and I could not get the video to work. I don't know why, but I didn't want to waste time trying to figure out more of it. So it's all part of the plan. Yes, exactly. I hide in darkness. But it's good to see everybody as we are getting ready here for Day 3, again, of Adventures in Middle-earth. I should say, did I say Adventures of Middle-earth? I should have said Adventures in Middle-earth. Adventures in Middle-earth, which is sponsored, of course, by Cubicle 7. And I also want to send a shout-out to them because Cubicle 7 was nominated for an ENnie Award. That's E-N-N-I-E. ENnie being the award that's given to role-playing games every year. So it's been nominated for an ENnie for the Adventures in Middle-earth Player's Guide. So we're very happy here about that since they were kind enough to sponsor us. So that will be given out at Gen Con, and hopefully that will happen. Before we get started, you guys know how to support the stream. Please, if you haven't already done so, follow the channel. Please tweet out the stream to all and sundry with !CTT. Please make sure to check out the Steam group with !Steam group, the YouTube with past broadcasts of this and other streams with !ArvTube, and of course the Patreon with !ArvTreon, which makes things like this very session that we're doing possible. And of course, if you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel as well. If you hit that sub button underneath the channel, you can get some cool things coming your way also. I am going to summarize the stuff for these folks and bring in my wonderful players in just a second. I do want to mention that after the stream today, I'm going to be heading over about an hour after the stream finishes to GOG for Pen and Pixels, my usual show that I do on Tuesdays, and I will be continuing D&D Storm King's Thunder, if I remember any of it, because it's been like 6 weeks since we did our last session. But anyway, there's more D&D where that came from. And then next Tuesday, Terry Toons and I will be doing the Fighting Fantasy Gamebook conclusion of Crypt of the Sorcerer with live illustrations by Terry. And the Tuesday after that will be the next day of this session, Wilderland Adventures. So it's going to be awesome times, and I am looking forward to all of it. So definitely stay tuned to this channel. Okay, with that said, let me first of all get rid of this. Let's get rid of this, and let me turn on this. There we go. Good to see you all. I hope everybody is doing well. And yes, welcome to our little middle of the day for you guys, early for me because I'm out here on the West Coast. Lore Master D&D stream. Whoa, we got something. Oh, Kilobyte is joined on board. I assume that means that Kilobyte has just subscribed to the stream. Thank you, dude. Very kind of you. Kilobyte is an awesome honor and a gentleman. Can we make sure that we can we give him some love? Can we give some love to Kilobyte for the sub? Thank you, man. Much appreciated. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Can we get some Arv Quills, Arv Dragons? By the way, emotes, sub-emotes are on the way. I'm just waiting for them to be approved. They've been submitted, so sometime by 2020 they should be approved. No, I'm sure it'll be faster than that. But anyway, thank you very much, Kilobyte. I appreciate it, man. That's something which all of you can do if you wish. You can sub and get some awesome stuff. Also, if you are supporting the Patreon, remember that you have the ability to inspire our players, which is a good thing as well. Okay, now with that said, I am going to unmute them.
One dude is little dude.
I'm going to unmute them. I am going to I'm going to unmute myself so they can hear me. And then I'm going to run over to
Yeah.
da, 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 da.
I just hear myself going, we're caravan security. It's like, oh.
Just the last little bit of it. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. And yes, you can see my wonderful players are here and ready. All of my players, or many of them, are tired for one reason or the other, including myself. But we are going to soldier on. We're not tired because of the game. My understanding is we're all excited about the game. It's just the things around the game that are basically our real lives and stuff. But yes, welcome to my wonderful players. And as always, I'm going to start with the gentleman right underneath me, who I was discussing being tired with earlier today. And that, of course, is our good friend Trendane Sparks. Hello, Trend. How are you? And how are you doing, sir?
I keep wanting to look over here, and you're not there.
I'm not. I'm above you for this
like,
one, yeah.
I'm just going to... You're okay. Yeah, like you said, tired. And thanks for mentioning being tired because now I'm even more tired.
Don't you feel tired?
I had partially forgotten, and now you've brought it back again. Hello, everyone. I'm Trent Sparks. I'm a professional voice actor person, and I'm just going to jump right into saying that I am playing Tawny Bear, the Hearthminder, who is a Bjorning, big, burly dude who is actually kind of a pacifist and healer now, after many long times of beating the crap out of people. And
bakes a mean honey baked, twice baked honey cake.
I do. With raisins. Anyway,
no.
We talked about this.
Bad.
And so down with the
Yes, down below you. Yes, that's exactly right.
I'm gonna drop it. She's gonna catch it. Watch it.
That leads us right along to our Natalie attired Terry tunes, of course. Hello, Terry. It's always a pleasure to see the blue hat. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing very fine. How are you?
I am doing well. Anything happened in the last few weeks that is super awesome that we should know about with cartooning and otherwise?
I drew a lot of Green Lantern fan art. Does that count?
Sure.
Okay. No, not a lot of interesting stuff has happened, I think. I don't remember either way. Maybe I drank too much. Cheers.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, can you tell us what you're drinking right now?
Oh, yeah, it's called Wikinger Blut, literally Viking blood. It's, wait, I have to get it shot. There we go. It's, like what all the posers drink. Actually, I got it as a birthday gift months ago.
So you're a poser.
I thought today would be a good opportunity.
Since I was going to be hanging out with posers, I figured what a better way to experience it. I also
you
like
said that, not me.
I was just jumping down to your implication. I like how the stencil on the bottle looks like it was kind of done by hand, like, yes, Vikings carve into glass bottle like this. But anyway.
It's probably some super cheap wannabe font from online that looks like super edgy. I don't know.
Exactly. Thank you for the follow, Guilty Sparks, or Spax. Is that Sparks? I assume that's Sparks. 008. So I basically figure that's Trendane feeling guilty, but he works for MI6. I think that's basically how that all goes. So Terry, who are you playing in today's spectacular adventure?
I am playing Inge, daughter of Ida. She is a dwarf from the Lonely Mountain. Well, her family is from there. She's not herself from there. She grew up on the road because she was born after the mountain was taken over by Smaug.
Yes.
And, yeah.
So she
lives on the road, basically.
She lives on the road.
Fancy hobo.
Fancy hobo with a beard. Always a pleasure to have you on board. And that leads us down to another gentleman who's tired for a different reason, but good reasons, of course. And that is our good friend Will from Encounter Roleplay. Hello, Will. How are you? And
hey.
What have you been working on that has led you to be tired? Exactly.
The live Jasmine stream keeps me up pretty late. Twitch, podcasting, and a Kickstarter campaign that I'm running at the moment. So I'm running pretty ragged.
What Kickstarter campaign is that, Will?
That is, well, funny you should ask, Carlin. That's the Breath of Gore. It's a D&D and 5e Pathfinder module I've been working on for the past couple of months. It's like my child, and it's having this like 1 month long birth process, which is incredibly painful, and there's no painkillers. So
What is it at right now?
We're at 4287 at the moment.
4287, nice.
Pounds.
And the next stretch goal is 5,000.
4,000. Yeah, 4,500, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
I should know this.
So you should throw a link to that in chat, and people should go and support this, because I assume some people like this. Are you trying to put us to sleep, Terry? What is going on?
That's why I'm covering
it. I'm just like, what is going on? Someone is putting me to sleep or trying to. Yeah, so there is the Kickstarter right there. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's really awesome. 199 backers, 14 days to go, so still 2 weeks to go. So making very good progress. That's good stuff.
2 weeks.
I assume you guys are excited, right? I mean, I assume that you're...
Oh, I am. Yeah, no, despite my... and it's up until 9 a.m. This morning recording stuff. So I would normally be more vivacious. My usual, D&D sex icon. charming self. I'm going to take some time to wake up today, though. So
I was waiting for you to just.
If he didn't do it, I was gonna mention it. But
I mean, someone has to, right?
Yeah.
I already had completely forgotten about this part. So yeah.
How could you?
It's essential. But yeah, I will be playing. I'll be playing Robar Staunton, who is a Dunedain wanderer, and he is a noble, I suppose, and he's looking to kind of reclaim his birthright. I've done a little bit of sweet talking last week, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
I say last week, last episode, last session, and yeah, still to find out more about his sordid past.
Yes, I am looking forward to exploring that sordid past, and the others, of course, Tani and Inga as well, as we go on. And that leads us, last but certainly not least, to someone who maybe is not as tired. I mean, I don't know if you're tired. I shouldn't just assume, Lauren. But Lauren Irwin, of course. Hi, Lauren. Are you tired? Are you tired for other reasons? I mean, just...
Yeah, I'm tired. I'm so tired.
Just let us stop.
Because I'm a filmmaker. I'm in grad school down in New Orleans,
Okay,
and I need to work on my damn thesis film.
Yep.
So if I don't work on it, I stress about not working on it, and then I stay up late. But otherwise, everything's fine. I play D&D on Mondays with the sex icon above me. The D&D sex icon, not the
not the regular sex icon. It's very important to distinguish those things.
Very important for legal reasons. Yeah.
Yes, copyright and such. But I play Rosie Barras. She is a hobbit from the Shire. She has not been back there, though, in a while for reasons. And she is sneaky. She likes shiny things, and she likes talking to people. And that's her.
It is good stuff. I am looking forward to, as you guys know, I am been super happy with this campaign so far, and I'm looking forward to it continuing. So I will give a quick summary for the folks in chat and the viewers, just to give people a sense of things. And perhaps for the players, just to give them an idea of what's going on. So the four of these wonderful individuals were, for different reasons, brought to Lake Town, and they were in the process of doing kind of the touristy thing, including looking out on the Long Lake, going out to the Long Lake and looking where Smaug the Great Dragon's bones allegedly can be found still in the water if the wind is in the right direction or anything else. This is actually appropriate for me because, as I said, I'm out on an island, and that when the tide goes out, you can go way far out on it. So I just like to imagine to just walk out, and instead of having crab shells, there's just Smaug out there, the bones of Smaug. But they were out looking at this when a young boy, whose name they would later find out was Belgo, came crashing through the rushes and basically told them that his father was in great danger. He was half hysterical, that he was being attacked, and that they needed to come help. And so, although the four had not met each other to that point, they were the group that was there, and they ended up following him into the rushes, and discovered a group of thugs, these three guys that had originally signed on as guards for the father, whose name is Baldur. Baldur was a merchant who has fallen on hard times, and as the adventurers later found out, Baldur was taking a wagon full of goods basically across Mirkwood to some friends of his on the other side so that he could kind of get his business restarted. And the reason that it's just Baldur and Belgo, as the adventurers later discovered, was that Baldur's wife had been killed in the attack on Lake Town 5 years before. Belgo has never really been able to completely appear. It seems that he hasn't totally, recovered from this yet. And in fact, he has this talisman, this little amulet that his mother gave him around his neck, which he holds, and kind of goes back to when he's feeling down or worried. Again, these are all, I'm paraphrasing, but these are all things that were discovered over a variety of conversations and the like. A good bout of intimidation by some of the crew and some sweet talk sweet-talking by the rest of the crew, convinced the thugs to leave, although not without being sullen about it and threatening to come back and attack when the party least expected it. But they did leave, and when they did, Baldur asked the party to basically sign on as guards for him as he crossed across Mirkwood. The party agreed to this, and in our last session, the party ended up meeting up with the friends, some of the friends of Baldur, who, as it turns out, are elves of Mirkwood. They went to the elves, the halls of the Elven King, but as Robar previously mentioned, his sweet-talking and some other work that was done by some of the others there was so successful that they ended up being put up in fairly impressive digs, I think we would say. And essentially the party all got drunk and ate a lot of honey cakes together, made by Tawny Bear. And so they bonded, which was a lot of fun. They got a lot of sense of how things were. And most importantly, for a mechanical point of view, they prepared themselves for their journey extremely well. The mechanical term for this is auspicious beginnings, and they definitely had that. And so, what's up, Big Boss? They definitely had that. And so this crew, having done all of these things, was able to get some kind of a good starting place. And when they ended up leaving the halls of the Elven King, they were blindfolded and they were brought to a place. Hold on while I fix very quickly Lauren's video screen. There we go, fixed. I cannot clearly multitask and fix a window while also trying to do a recap. So they were brought to this wooded glade, basically, in Mirkwood, the party, and Baldur and Belgo, along with their goods. And then they were given, auspicious beginnings, as I said, so they were given all best support and best wishes and that sort of thing, as they then set off into Mirkwood. And that's essentially where we find ourselves as we get underway. So let us do it, and thanks to everybody in chat for being here as we go along. So you now embark on part 3 of our adventure, which is otherwise known as the Long Road. And it is known that for a reason, because you now have to cross through Mirkwood. Now, even in the section where you guys are crossing, which is the northern end of Mirkwood, which is technically the better side, it's far away from the fastness of Dol Guldur, where things are really dark and evil. Still, Mirkwood is Mirkwood, and that means that it is a difficult place to cross, and it's going to be difficult, especially when you're also trying to protect a couple of people along the way. So to do this, we have what is called a journey phase, where the party is actually going to be engaging in certain roles. And so what we need to do as a part of this is we need to figure out who is going to be what. And I think, although I don't remember exactly now, but I believe we had started to assign those roles, had we not?
Yep.
I believe, I'm trying to remember, I think Robar was the scout, if I'm not mistaken.
I think Lauren has it down here.
Yeah,
was
I
Lauren
got
the
it.
scout? Okay, what do you got?
I was the scout. Robar is the guide. Inga's the lookout, and Tawny Bear's the hunter. I think that's what we finished on.
Okay. You were the scout. Right, that's right. And he was the guide. Inga was what again?
The lookout.
Lookout, that's right. Yep, cool. Okay. All right, so, and so part of what this involves with this journey is going through a series of events, and I will be rolling this sort of off camera, as it were. You guys will not know what it is that I'm engaged in, but it's fine though. Don't worry. I mean, in no way is there anything you have to worry about at all. There would be no problems here in the least. Okay.
You're convinced.
Yeah.
You sounded
such
to me. Okay. So we've got that right, and so here we go. The good news is, though, again, the auspicious events makes it that because you guys were so successful, it means that you will be able to have advantage on ability checks and on skill rolls until, now not on attack rolls, but you'll be able to have it on ability checks and saving throws, until you fail one of those rolls, and then your advantage goes away. But other than that, in the course of this journey, you will have advantage on those things because of how awesome your time was before you actually had to get on the road. So that's the way these things actually work. So what I'm going to ask from everybody here is range of possible events. Yes. So What do we got? All right. So my scout is Rosie.
How many people are we traveling with? To remind Will.
You have got two, just the two, Baldor and Belgo, and then obviously your party. And also, and I should say the mule, the donkey that is holding things, and Inga's pony as well. Lilihan is coming.
I thought you really didn't trust the mule there for some reason. Narrowed eyes. He's hiding something.
Yeah, she was very concerned about the prospect of not having her horse there. She's like, "Wait, what happened to my pony?"
Oh yeah, it came on a raft of us, didn't it?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm fully conscious of the danger that would actually exist otherwise.
That's a brave pony.
Ponies are important in this Lord of the Rings thing. Like, ponies are everywhere in the books.
Which is very different from D&D, because in classic D&D, weren't the dwarves terrified of horses?
I never played actual classic D&D. I came in for like 3rd edition or something.
Don't dwarves in Middle Earth ride like giant stags from the movies, right?
Oh god.
That's right. Anything they can
Or
do.
is that the elves? I don't know.
Tourism.
It's too low.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
I do have another dwarf character who is indeed terrified of everything that's bigger than a dog. So that's the thing. Which includes ponies.
It's reasonable. I'm scared of things that are smaller or as big as spiders.
Okay. All right. So, as we begin our journey, you guys travel for a good few hours, probably. If you may remember, you had started right around midday. It may be, early afternoon, 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, possibly. And it was relatively sunny and bright in the glade that the elves had brought you to. But as I think I mentioned, you were already sort of descending into darkness as time went on. And I should say that at a certain point, especially as it gets towards dark, there are still sort of light that speckles the path below you. But as it gets darker, you will need to think about light sources, torches, lanterns, things like that, because you are going to get to the point where it's going to be too dark to see. And that's probably going to happen considerably before it actually gets dark. When the sun goes down, even if it's still light outside the forest, it's not going to be light inside it. But there's still some light to see by. And for a while, you don't really hear a whole lot. Oh, I almost forgot to get my music up here. Let me pull up there's music, and of course we need my little forest music. Where's my forest sounds at? Oh, there we go. There's my forest sounds. There we go. A little more. Lovely. But as you guys are traveling along, you begin to notice by the sides of the path, you begin to notice certain things, things that scurry out of the way when you look at them. You're never really sure exactly what they are. You get an image sometimes of like maybe a furry tail, could be a squirrel, sometimes red eyes, sometimes some strange looking, it's not clear if it's like a leg, maybe a hand, but maybe that's just your imagination. Little things that always sort of scurry out of the way and sneak. You begin to hear sounds in the forest, more of a chittering. The sounds of birds begin to gradually die away as you go, and instead they're replaced by chittering, sometimes a little bit of hissing in the darkness, sounds like this. Not the most auspicious sounds in the world that you've ever heard. And what's troubling about them is because you never see any of these things straight on, it's hard to tell what is just your imagination playing tricks on you and what is actually real, what's actually creatures that are there. Tax returns, exactly. Tax returns scurry out of the way as you look at them. That's exactly right, Big Boss. So, as you were in the process of moving along here, you are about 3 hours, I would say, into your journey. Tawny Bear, you are walking along, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that you were in the not in the front of the group. Rosie was in the front of the group, but I want to say maybe you were bringing up the rear, Tawny Bear. I think that's what it actually was. And you, sort of in an unusual moment, because it's been getting darker and darker, there is one shaft of light that you see above you, and you see what looks like a group of black objects on a branch above you. And I would like you actually to make a perception check for me to see if you can figure out exactly what that is. But you'll be doing this as at advantage, I should say. Okay. So those objects, which at first you were like, oh my god, spiders, oh my god, goblins, something, are not either of those. But it is in fact a flock of juicy, fat black pheasants that you can see on a branch. And I should point out to everybody that food is a thing that is important in this journey process. So you need to think a little bit about that. So your supplies, such as they are holding out okay. But obviously, no matter how much the elves gave you, even your twice-baked honey cakes won't necessarily keep you going forever throughout the course of the long journey. So the question is, do you want to do anything about this, or do you want to pass them by? Right now, they don't seem to have noticed you, but then the party doesn't seem to have noticed either. Everyone is walking along relatively quietly, a little bit of murmured conversation here and there. But you can see it clearly above you, a good, I don't know, a decent distance in front, but you can make out the pheasants on the branch.
Who's closest to me? I mean, if I'm in the back, who's right in front of me?
I believe the person in front of you would be Inga, because Robar's in front. I think Rosie's in front and Robar right behind, if I remember how we did it.
Okay.
Tawny Bear is not a dwarf, actually, Van. Tawny Bear is a Bjorning. He is one of Bjorn's people.
He's much bigger than a dwarf.
Big bear of a man, yes.
That's right. I mean, yes.
Don't
so
bring it up, I'm sensitive.
That's right. Please, be considerate of others' feelings.
Oh, love that voice. It's good.
Okay. I'll have to try never to do that one in your presence again, because you'll have me doing it all the time. So Tawny will just kind of, to give that Inga.
Mm-hmm.
And if she turns to look,
I turn to look.
I'll kind of point up,
Okay, so
because Tawny doesn't have any ranged weapons, so he
Yeah,
makes
okay,
a great
so,
hunter
like,
at that way.
wait, where am I standing? Like, I'm in front of him, right?
Yes,
So I walk.
you are. You're
Okay.
behind several others, but you're in front of him.
So I quietly pass my axe to Tawny to hold it, and then I, as quietly as possible, reach for my bow and try to shoot one of the pheasants down.
Okay. Now, the one thing I do want to mention is that because you are technically not the hunter in this group, that this roll is not going to be done at advantage. I understand Tawny Bear does not have a ranged weapon, but I'm just letting you know it's fine to do that. Like, you don't have to feel constrained, like, I can't do it but I'm just letting you know that you won't necessarily have that benefit. Just giving you that info up front. So you'd be doing it at a normal ratio. And you'd actually not be making an attack roll here. You'd be making a survival check to try to gather this together. Because there are a group of pheasants, remember, so.
Oh God.
Okay.
Oh no.
So does Inga look kind of like she's not real confident about this?
Well.
No. I did look very confident when I was shooting.
She was confident at first.
I did this like a billion times before, but then I was shooting.
Yes, she was confident. So all of you hear this arrow go off, and I guess the person who would be right in front would be, I guess that would be either Rosie or Robar, who are right behind there. So you guys hear this arrow, and you look behind you to see Inga sort of holding a bow, kind of looking a little disappointed, and then you hear this, and you see this flittering above you of branches. Black feathers go everywhere, and flying into the darkness is something. You guys, Robar and Rosie, have no idea what this was. I don't know whether Inga or Tana want to say anything, but...
Okay, yeah, well,
what was
as
that?
soon as I...
We're
as
up
soon
here trying to be all snaky. What's going on back there?
Yeah, Baldur
Yeah,
is
well,
like, let's go... But what happened? What happened?
Well, as soon as I miss, I just go, well, shoot, there goes dinner for tonight, I guess. And, yeah, then after they all go, yeah, there was food up there, basically, but you saw nothing. Move on.
You saw nothing.
Tawny will hand her axe back.
Yes.
Perhaps you should stick to this.
I thought that you were handing it. I thought you were handing it to him for him to throw it.
That's
I
what I
was like,
thought too. I was like,
take this axe.
Well,
You
it's
have
like
my
a,
axe.
You have my axe.
if
it's
I
like
go ahead.
it's like a great axe, like not the type of great axe you would
Right,
you would see like in Warcraft, but like a staff axe, which is basically like a regular axe with like an extra long. What's it called? English.
Handle.
Yeah, like a
Okay.
hand axe or throwing axe.
Handle.
The
Yeah, no, but
thing.
this is a staff that's extra long. It's like
Oh.
at the same time it's a walking stick. That's the idea.
Yeah,
Like
it's a
Ooh.
long
almost at
staff.
the same time.
So-
yeah.
If Tawny had used that and had rolled a natural 20, he would have not only killed all of the pheasants in one shot, but they would have immediately, butchered into pheasant breasts.
Right. Just
And
laying
nice-
it.
Probably.
Would have been like going to a
Fillets.
sushi restaurant. Just, and they would have just dropped.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's exactly what would have happened. And
Yes.
so when
That's what Minecraft taught me.
yeah, exactly. And when it's clear, when it's made clear to everybody what it is that just happened, Baldor is kind of like, oh, he's like, well, I suppose we'll have to let the supplies kind of last us as long as they can. It's all right. I'm sure you did the best you could. He looks a little disappointed, just slightly, but not not disastrously.
That's
So
so savage.
I
Like,
say nothing very loudly.
you say you do what? You do what?
I say nothing but very loudly.
I say nothing but very loudly. Awesome.
Yes.
Uh,
Very loud silence. But I do collect the feathers that dropped on the floor for like arrow fletching or what it's called,
Mhm.
so that I can make new arrows from those.
Okay.
yeah, next
the
time
thing
you
that
see
I
some
can-
food, we can all fire at them. And
Yeah. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Uh,
Or make fun of the dwarf, will ya?
Okay.
No, we were saying we would help you.
This is
I-
what you get.
you clearly need some help.
One thing that I want to note, by the way, is that when you are looking at these feathers, actually make a nature check for me, Inga, and survival would also do. There you go. That's the roll you needed before. So what you're able to notice about this is that these feathers are unusually large, and you would say maybe even lustrous would be the best way to put it. They have a kind of sheen to them, which you can just see in a little bit of the light that, as I mentioned, is shining down from through the forest canopy. And they definitely seem like they're, good fletching for arrows. They could theoretically be, but they seem unusual to you, not like normal pheasants that you've ever seen anywhere else. There's some kind of, they just seem sort of larger and more shiny than you're used to.
Ooh, shiny?
Shiny.
Shiny?
They are.
Yeah,
They're,
I hand Rosie. I hand her one of the feathers because she's looking at.
It's like a magpie.
I stick it in my hair.
Very cool. By the way, I should mention to whoever it was that asked the question about, I think it was, oh yeah, there we go. Wolfstrike already answered it. Yeah, 5 years after the defeat of Smog. That's correct. That's exactly right. So, all right.
I've got to turn this music off. Oh my god.
Oh, is it setting you off?
So peaceful.
I just can't. It's. I'm trying to get the forest mood, but it's not helping you with the sleep.
I'm rocking to some Foo Fighters right now, so I can stay in.
Oh God, I'm sorry. The mood is not helping. Listen, I can't help people who run
It's okay.
successful Kickstarters. Okay,
It's
like
okay.
it's not my doing.
Yeah, sleep
How
on
many
your own
feathers?
time, Will.
Yeah, you're on a clock right now.
Exactly. Okay. Somebody was asking something. Lauren, you had a question?
No,
Oh,
No.
Terry did. Sorry.
Yes. How many feathers did I get?
There were about 6 feathers that you found. 6 feathers. Okay, so the rest of that day passes uneventfully, but as it draws towards nightfall and Baldor suggests that you make camp, you begin to realize a little bit why Mirkwood has the reputation it does, because this darkness is more than just an ordinary darkness. It is.
It's advanced darkness.
It is leveled up darkness. Yes, it is definitely leveled up darkness. No, it's.
I attack that darkness.
Yeah, I attack
Oh,
the darkness
is that a
with magic
thing?
missile. Yes.
This is not regular darkness. This is
You can't
advanced
miss.
darkness.
Yeah, exactly. With
That's something that Inga can definitely hit.
Oh man,
Stab it.
the harshness. But
Now,
as
one of these, and I will see if I can hit you.
you're larger than a fat black pheasant, Robar, so I'm sure that would be.
This is
You're
true.
larger than a fat one.
You're larger.
You're larger.
Probably about 3 fat black pheasants stacked on top of each other.
You know.
Mate.
So,
In a trench coat.
okay.
We're serious here. Serious role players.
So you guys are waiting by the path. You try and sort of to set up camp. You try to put together a campfire at first, but you end up giving it up because the campfire itself is so completely. Excuse me for just a second. Okay, good. Making sure they have it right. When you do that, there are these pairs of eyes that begin to gather all around you. And it frankly kind of freaks you out a little bit. The eyes at some point seem to gather right over your shoulder. Rosie, at one point you feel like you sort of look to your right and you feel like there's eyes like right in your face, and then you sort of start back and then they're gone again. And you didn't feel any like movement around you. You just sort of saw the eyes. Robar, there are a couple of times where you see what looks like kind of movement sliding up next to you into the firelight and then slides away. And it's making, in particular, Belgo, who's grabbing onto his amulet a whole lot right now, even more agitated. And so Baldur eventually suggests that you just sort of extinguish the fire completely. And that's fine, except then the darkness sets in at an even greater amount. It seems to weigh and press in upon you. And again, the chittering seems to get louder. There is also now the buzzing, as if of mosquitoes or flies. Nothing seems to you don't feel anything on your skin, but it sort of surrounds you, buzzes around you. You hear these sort of zzz type of thing. And that's kind of troubling as well. And then probably you've been sitting there for a few hours. There's been a suggestion about maybe going to sleep, but no one really feels much. I mean, you feel kind of not really tired as much as kind of freaked out with everything. Hello, G for Gaming.
Yeah.
So as you're in the process of kind of like looking around you, suddenly in the darkness, you hear this. It sounds kind of like something growled and snuffled and maybe almost barked all at the same time. And you hear suddenly both the mule and your pony, Inga, go, you like sort of like beginning to weigh, sort of a neigh and whinny. And you see them beginning to kind of like move around and stamp. And in particular, Lillaham seems very, very agitated. So much so that you feel Lillaham kind of pulling at the post, the sort of trunk that's been staked to, and kind of jerking at the rope and making all kinds of noise, Inga.
Oh, okay.
Something's going on.
Well, I jump up and get to the pony and try to calm him down.
Okay, I need you to make an animal handling check, and in fact, I'm going to need someone else is going to have to attend to the mule as well, because the mule is also flipping out. Baldur is over there and is trying to do so, but is not having any success. Is anyone going to help? Okay, so same thing, animal handling. Okay.
So which of these numbers counts anyway? The first or the second?
It's the first one. Although, actually, at advantage, then it's whatever is the highest. Otherwise, it's the first one. Yeah. So, now you guys are lucky because you are still working at advantage because of your auspicious beginnings. So that's good. That serves you in good stead. And actually, ironically, if you had failed that advantage check trying to deal with the pheasants, you wouldn't have this ability now. So in a way, that kind of worked a little bit to your advantage. Yeah, it was all part of the plan. I know. It was all part of the plan. So you managed to what are you doing to settle them down, Tani and Inga?
Well, I first grab the rope, try to draw him down as good as I can, and then pat his head and try to whisper to him like stuff to in Dwarvish actually, haha, because I can do that. In Dwarven, I whisper to him like things. Yeah, calm down.
Okay. That
I
seems.
don't know what you say in English to calm down. I'm sorry.
Give me the German. What would it be?
Oh God. Oh, Brauner, oh, alles ist gut.
I like it. I'm already calm. So that actually seems to work. They begin to sort of settle down. You can just sort of see the kind of almost the kind of gleam of white eyes in the almost pitch darkness. I mean, you can barely see this, but obviously wide-eyed. And Tawny Bear, what are you doing with the mule to settle him down?
Covering his eyes.
Okay.
And just kind of leaning in, sort of pulling him in close up against him and just kind of whispering to him and tickling the inside of his other ear to distract him from whatever's going on.
Okay. That also seems to be effective. You notice that they begin
natural
to sort of,
20. It had better be.
Yeah, I was going to say they also begin to settle and calm down. And as you begin to sort of settle them down, you see that Baldur also has been trying to help and is doing some good with this as well. As you're in the process of doing this, you notice that kind of looking around them, you can see Tawny Bear, what looks like maybe stamped down grass. There's like a little bit of grass and brush right at the side of the path. Thank you for the host, by the way, Mike Pro, and thank you for the host. I appreciate it. But you see this sort of grass has been stamped down around the outside as if there was some relatively large creature that was here just a moment ago. You're not familiar necessarily with these tracks that you see. There's only a couple of those tracks. But something was here, and it wasn't a group of fat black pheasants. That's for sure. That you can see around them.
I look around and because I can see in the dark.
Yep.
Just to see if anything else pokes out.
I make a check about what your halfling eyes see.
Yes.
What's your halfling I see? Make a perception check for me, please, Rosie.
Can I do that too? I also can.
You can do that as well, yes. In fact, anyone can make a perception check if they want.
I will draw my sword.
I was going to say, I'm going to make sure that everybody sees those tracks.
Yep.
Yeah, it's good.
So that's stamped point.
13.
All right, so we got a 20, we got an 18, we got a 13. Okay, Lauren and Inga, you guys are able to see exactly what it is. First of all, you see the tracks that are pointed out. I should say not Lauren. I'm sorry. I was looking at your name in Roll20. Rosie. Rosie and Inga, you guys are able to see that. Rosie, in addition to that, in addition to those tracks, and Inga, you see the same stomped down grass or whatever else. You can also see a set of what looks like broken branches and things like that that are behind the grass, as if something, broke through the branches, stamped up and down, and then disappeared again. You don't see anything moving now, though. Everything seems to be silent, and you can see that. You also can hear this sound. And then you realize that it's coming from Belgo. And as you look over, you can see that Belgo is sort of staring. Rosie, only you're able to see this part, wide-eyed, both hands around the amulet around his neck, sort of staring into the thicket of
What's
the
that
woods
sound
by
up
the
there?
path.
Oh, that's the kid.
I'll move in that direction until I see him, I guess.
Okay. He's right there. I mean, he's right with you guys. Yeah, he's just staring, looking into the undergrowth.
You okay, kid?
Staring like locked onto something, or staring like okay.
Well, sort of. Not. He's not in a trance, but he's just sort of staring at the. Clearly, he's seen the broken down stuff as well, basically, and the branches and things like that. And Robar, he doesn't respond to you. He's just. He doesn't, he looks like he's not going to fall over or anything.
Can he...
He's, agitated, obviously.
Yeah. Can he, follow my hand if I move it? So he's, is he here?
Are you moving your hand in front of his eyes?
Yeah, I guess I'll kind of come over him if he's on the floor and kind of kneel down beside him and similarly to Inga of the Horse, but just try and say a few kind of calming words.
When you do that, he sort of starts back. Yes, Big Boss. Crawling in the thicket? Yes. When you do that in front of his eyes, he kind of starts back. and he looks over at you, and you can see that it's it's very dim, obviously darkness. Like you can barely see anything, but you can notice that at the very least you can see again the whiteness almost of his eyes. They're sort of his wide eyes, as if he were a horse, kind of staring at you. Still doesn't say anything.
Yeah, I'll turn back to the group. Kids spooked. I'm not great with kids.
And Baldur comes over and says, "Oh, Belgo, it's all right. It's all right, son. Whatever it is, it's gone now."
Yeah, I'm like, this is your son. So him
Your
out.
job.
like a taking a baby, like this is yours. Like, you do that, and Baldur kind of ruffles through his son's hair, and you can see Belgo is kind of like right next to his father, sort of holding on to him a little bit. But spooked is definitely the word, and in fact, all of you feel somewhat drained by this experience. Kind of almost there's a sense of almost palpable dread, I think might be the way to describe it, that you feel. And as you're sort of sitting there kind of wondering about what this all means, kind of shivering a little bit, you feel the darkness of the forest that is kind of weighing heavily on your spirits. I need you all to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Let's give that a go.
Remember, you're doing these at advantage because...
oh, you're right. Good
Oh,
one.
thank God.
Yeah.
This is why auspicious beginnings are a thing. Okay. Yes, all of you feel the darkness weighing upon you, but then each of you remember the experience that you had together in the room in the Hall of the Elven King. Tawny Bear, you remember the smell of the cakes that you were baking, and the experience you had, the greatest joy that you always feel, which is the feeling of building new things from old, constructing food in this case, baking food for others. Inga, you are reminded of the beer that you enjoyed with everybody as you were sitting and enjoying companionship, feeling closer to the experience of home than perhaps you had in some time. Robar, oh yes, go ahead, Inga. You wanted to say something?
No, I just have a question because
Sure.
like my character is a dwarf of Erebor. Did she hear like any more specific stories of what Torin and his gang, like their events, what they went through when
Of
they
course.
passed through here?
Oh, of course.
Okay,
Of course,
go on.
but it's important to note though, this isn't the same path they were on, and they were going the other direction. So they were going west to east as opposed to where you guys are going. So yes, you remember some of it, and certainly you remember the darkness and dread of it, but you're not sure how applicable it would be. But yes, you do know of it, yes. And that's something you can kind of keep in your back pocket if you come across things later on, let's say, for sure. Robar, you have the experience, you remember, of course, the experience of sleeping in that incredible bed that you were provided there, sort of a noble's bed, remembering what it was like when you were younger and things were happier and your family was still, in its prosperous position. And Rosie, most of all, you remember the food, the delicious food that you had. And almost, it's not that the darkness lifts, but it feels somehow less dense around you as you all have that experience. You're not sure, though, looking over at them, whether Baldur and Belgo feel the same way. They feel this, there's some pressure, especially on Belgo, again, who continues to kind of hold on to the amulet as he has it.
Yeah.
So, do you want to make any other preparations for the evening besides where you are? There doesn't seem to be anything moving now.
Yeah, I say, it doesn't seem like this darkness is something we can fight. Not with a sword, at least. Anyone play any music? I know that sometimes that can bring spirits up in a camp.
You don't, of course, see Inga and Rosie raise their hands in the darkness.
No one? Yeah, I'm like, no one?
No, I don't raise
Hello?
my hand, but I
No
like
one?
immediately.
Guys, where are
reach
you?
for my pocket to get my flute, just like
I do
out of
raise my
reflex.
hand. And
Okay.
I'm very confused when nobody comments on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not looking at her. Anyone at all? Okay.
I jump up because I think he's just not looking down.
You see some movement, Robar. There's like,
Oh. Oh yeah.
Could potentially be a spider going, "Ah, dude,
yes, exactly. Death is yours. Oh no.
I play the harp."
Or branches with like spider silk strings.
Yeah.
That-
Well, I'll say. Oh God, what's his name? Belgo. Or to his dad. Is there a favorite song? Maybe Rosie. You know. You could play it.
And Baldur sort of kind of
Put you on the spot.
Yeah, Baldur thinks a little bit. And you asked this to Baldur, right?
Yeah, because the kid's too out of it, really.
Okay. Okay. So you asked this to Baldur, and Baldur says, "Oh, well, I remember that my wife used to sing a lullaby to him. I've never been very good at them myself. I can't really carry a tune. I don't remember much of how it went, but and Belgo kind of looks up at you, his eyes wide. He's sort of maybe trembling a little bit. Those of you who can see in the dark can see, but doesn't say anything. But Baldur makes reference to this lullaby.
That he doesn't
We
know.
know that song?
Doesn't know how it goes. He just knows it was a lullaby.
Thanks.
Well, we do know some lullabies.
That was like Trent earlier. It's German and happy. I know that one.
Exactly. Thank you for the host, Farsnake.
We could improvise, Inga.
You tell.
What instrument does Rosie have? Do I see it?
I have a fiddle
Oh yeah, the fiddle. I remember. Yes.
that elves don't have, and it's so sad.
Then do go on. I will follow your lead.
Okay. I try to do it kind of quietly as we are in Mirkwood. So, quiet leaf fiddle.
Okay.
Something.
Do you? I'm so tempted to make you actually sing it.
Nope.
But I won't do that to you. But what I will ask is, tell me the elements of what you're trying to include in this lullaby, since you're improvising it anyway.
Right. Well, I guess just something not too like melancholy, because this kid has a lot of stuff going on, this kid.
And your mom is dead.
Yeah, so not that. But like something just like really sweet and simple.
A nap in a sunny meadow.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you begin to play this, let me see if I got one that's appropriate. Hang on a second here. Give me some. Is it playing? Should be. There we go. You guys hear that?
No. I turned the music down because I was falling asleep.
Oh yeah, I got you. Oh, this is like a snake charming kind of song.
Creepy. It's kind of creepy.
So the reason I'm bringing that up is because as you're playing the fiddle music, the sound that's coming out of it sounds more like this than what you might have originally planned for, Rosie. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, oh crap! Now I don't remember if there's a performance characteristic.
Yeah.
There is. Okay.
There is.
I need you to make a performance roll for me, please. It's not that the instrument has a feel of its own, but this isn't what you would have expected from the tone. It's almost as if something here is infusing itself with your music.
Thank heaven for advantage.
Yep. Okay. As you begin to play, you notice this, and you strive against it. You think about, you're like, this is my own music, damn it, and I'll play what I want, and I want this other sound, and the music becomes sweeter. It becomes kinder, might be a good way to put it. It becomes more rich. and it changes from kind of creepy into sort of pleasantness, and kind of the experience of pleasant brooks and streams and the small trees and tilled land of your home. And as you begin to play this, you can see Belgo beginning to noticeably kind of relax. And kind of settle down. His eyes narrow a little bit. I mean, from his incredibly wide state, so they get normal, basically.
He no longer has anime eyes.
Yeah, exactly. No longer has anime eyes. And in fact, even the horses sort of seem to be almost swaying quietly to the music. Inga, what about you? How are you? You said
well,
following the
I play
leads.
along.
How are you doing that?
Yeah, like as soon as I like pick up on the tune she's playing. I'm just
Okay. So you
jamming
noticed as well, Inga, that at first it sounded like you're like, what the hell, like this, but then the music became again sweet, and you're able to kind of play along with it. And here you are in this great darkness weighing down upon you, with the instruments holding back that darkness, and Belgo and the animals all sort of listening above you. You also notice that the chittering around you and this hissing and the seems to lessen. The eyes become fewer as you play. So, hey, what's up, Suddenly Pandas? And hello to everybody who is watching. Okay, so the rest of the evening passes more or less uneventfully, and as the next day dawns and you begin to set out again, you find yourselves kind of waking up, not refreshed maybe, but certainly a lot less, a lot less darkness than there was the night before. Literally, there's now kind of a dim light that you can see filtering down in the area. You see the stamped down grass and all that kind of stuff. And as you guys set off again, you feel a little bit more, at ease than you did at least the night before. But still, this entire area is kind of just not, it's no bueno, this is not something that you want. Okay. As you guys continue, a couple of hours later, you hear off the side of the path, and again, the trees have narrowed, the path is also narrowing as well. You hear from the side of the path, and you don't know how, it's somewhat distant, but you can hear, right? You hear this off the side of the path, and it sounds like nope. You hear this singing off the side of the path. Now, it sounds like the voices are high, but they don't sound female. They sound, it might be like a countertenor, like a male countertenor, something like that. Thank you for the follow, Balian. And there's more than one of them. In fact, there's a group that sort of take up the song. It sounds wistful and sad, maybe, but not like death will await you. Nothing like that. But it's very sort of gentle. And what languages does everyone speak?
Ooh, good question.
I have the tongues of many people.
Sindarin and Westron.
The whatever the common is, I can't remember right now.
That's Westron? Right?
Yeah, Westron. Yeah,
Right,
I think
okay.
Sindarin is Elvish.
one of the.
Westron and
yeah.
Thieves Can't. I assume they're not singing.
I speak Danish
The other.
and Kustul. Kustul is
Okay, gotcha.
Danish is one of the.
So you, Inga, you're able to pick up a word here or there. Thank you for the follow, Suddenly Pandas. You pick up a word here and there, but Robar, you were able to understand more of it. It's a song of going home, a sad song about going home. You hear things about over the sea. My time will take me over the sea on ships of wood. Da, 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 da. Like you hear songs like that kind of emanating from the sound of the path. And everyone hears this singing, by the way, and everyone has stopped, Baldur and Belgo, and they're just sort of staring off, not trance-like, but just looking into the undergrowth, again, down wherever the sound is emanating from.
I'll say, sounds like elves. They're singing about going home.
I don't trust this. I just grab my bow and just like really concerned But
Good.
I heard
Some kind of
stories
trap.
of these woods. This is not a good sign.
Elder told us not to leave the path under any circumstances. So I feel like good luck to whoever that is. We should stay right here.
As you say that, by the way, Rosie, you smell the delectable smell of what seems like roasted chicken or maybe pheasant that is floating on the breeze.
Don't,
You okay?
Don't.
Yeah.
Do not.
I have a very keen nose, Rabar.
What do you smell?
What does your hobbit nose smell?
What is it? What do you smell? Chicken flesh.
Saffron. I think that the pheasants that got away last night may have been, in the bellies of other people, not Rosie, others. So, but we can find some more, I am sure of that.
Yeah, I think it's best not to leave the path, no matter how much our bellies rumble.
That is what I just said.
I know, but you seemed very tempted by the pheasant.
What
We
are you
should
talking?
pack up everything as fast as we can. And
You shut your dirty mouth.
If I could reach your mouth, I would slap it.
And Kiana, by the way, that's all part of the plan. Our role playing is
the
so
power of
advanced here
role-playing.
that you, through your computers, can actually hear what we presented. Roll20 is
The
very
new
advanced.
meta.
Yes.
Yeah, these elves want to go home. Let's let them go home. We've got other places to be.
Okay. It seems to you, as you are right close to the path, that if you were to make much noise going forward, you would probably, they seem close enough that they might hear you. So you could, if you wish, try to go and find whatever these are, but it sounds like you guys want to avoid them, which is fine. In which case, I'm going to ask our scout to make a stealth check to lead your party by. So this would be Rosie. And to make this stealth check. And again, you are doing this at advantage. The others are going to basically follow your lead. So I'd like you to make that check and to tell me also what it is you're doing to be stealth, like how to make them stealthy. I know how you were stealthy. How are you going to help them be
Right.
stealthy?
With glares of disapproval whenever they make too much noise.
Okay. No,
Mostly.
wrong. No, okay.
Come on.
I am really glad that we got
Oh,
to this.
not great.
I'm really glad that we got to this because Tawny Bear was just going to use his staff to rap on the cart and say, "Sail on!"
Get the hell out.
I guess it's not terrible if they come to us. It's just we should not go to them.
Let's see. Okay, so you begin to bring them by. You're sort of with these disapproving glances, but as you go, unfortunately, the cart is not nearly as quiet as anything else is. And as it's trying to go by, Baldur is sort of, carefully leading the mule along. But the mule, as he goes, there's a little bump in the path. And the wagon goes tunk tunk, and there's this like movement in the cart, and the sound stops. The singing stops,
I just look at him.
and he kind of is just, sorry. And there
Sorry,
is
didn't
just
feed the bulldog, pal.
so there's silence. Do you guys want to do anything?
Press on.
I mean, is there a way to prevent this man from doing the same thing again?
Kill him.
Well, I mean, that's the
Well,
ultimate solution.
That's settled.
You, I can hit. You're the size of 5. I guess I'll go back, and he's kind of with the mule in the cart, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll take the reins. Let's try and keep it down.
And he says, I didn't mean to, but the wagon's not designed for this. And as he's saying
It's
that,
fine.
As he's saying that, Robar, I need you to make a perception check for me, please. In fact, all 4 of you can make perception checks for me.
Oh, good.
19.
Okay.
16.
Without advantage.
Oh,
Everything
by the
I
way,
like.
I want to say I am unfortunately, because of the stealth roll not necessarily making it, you are no longer at advantage.
I knew it would be me. I knew it would be me. 20 though.
You got some other advantages though. I mean, like you got some good work out of that benefit. Okay. So basically, we've got Robar. Okay, Robar and Rosie. You guys hear what sounds like a rustling in the bushes, and Rosie, you have a further inclination, which is you're used to what this sound is. It is the sound of someone or something trying not to be heard as they move.
Okay.
Something over there. Someone.
Yeah, it's someone being sneaky, like we were trying to do, but they're better at it, I think. I'll just put my hands up and wave in that direction.
Wait,
Hello?
how far? I'll put my bow in that direction, probably.
As you do so, there is sort of a silent, almost maybe like the movement of the wind would be the way to describe it. And then you were all aware of a presence around you. And as you look around, you can see the cloaked figures, 6 of them, which have emerged from the path, all of which have bows trained at the 6 of you. And one of them in the front says quietly, in Cinderin actually, state your purpose here. So the only one who gets that, Inga gets like, hey, or something, but not really anything clear. Robar, though, you get that whole phrase.
I'll reply in Cinderin, traveling.
And the one says, that's obvious. The question is from where, to where, and for whom. Speak quickly.
We travel from the Elven King's halls with these 2, and I nod to the boy and the dad. Our purpose is our own.
And he sort of looks, and as you can look over, you see that Baldur has obviously picked up some of this. Remember, Baldur is friends with the elves, so he knows some, not some Elvish, some Cinderin, and he sort of nods furiously, you can see in the somewhat dim light. And all of them say, we had heard word, I should say, not all of them say, the one in front says, we had heard word that there would be some coming this way. But you make enough noise to wake the dead with your movement. And he says, if you're attempting to keep a low profile, this isn't the way to do it. Go ahead, Robar.
You got any tips, pal?
And he sort of looks around and he says, you could do with having some elves with you, first of all.
Now, why would I want that?
And he shakes his head and he says, yes, why indeed. He nods to the others, and the others all lower their bows. It's pretty clear to all of you now that these are, in fact, elves. Suspicious ones, obviously. And
all elves.
All elves are suspicious. Like, just hashtag suspicious elves. Hashtag not all elves. So
all elves.
He looks, yes, all elves. So he looks down at all of you, and he says, if it is true that you came from the Elven King's halls, then explain where you're going now. To the other end of these woods? And this time he speaks in sort of the common speak, so common tongue, so all of you can understand him. And Baldur nods, and he says, yes, I'm bringing these goods across to the other end of Mirkwood. These are my guards that have accompanied me. And the Elven King gave us his word that we would have safe passage from the elves there. And the elf kind of narrows his eyes and looks back at you, Robar, and he says, and you, who speak for this group, apparently, are you, and he kind of lowers his voice a little bit, will you see them through no matter what the cost? Strikes you as an odd statement.
Yeah. I intend to. What do you know of what's ahead?
Make a persuasion test check for me, please.
Persuasion. Ah, yes. 0 in charisma.
So
12.
Okay. He says, I can tell you that not far ahead of you, you'll find the midpoint of the northern portion of the forest. You've made relatively good time. But I advise you to be careful. There are strange doings in the west portion of these woods, things that maybe the Elven King has not yet even heard. We plan to tell him ourselves when we arrive home. We travel that way ourselves. And he says, but I would use care. The creatures here are disturbed. There is a growing shadow upon them, and we don't know why.
We've noticed the shadow. Thanks for the warning.
And he nods and he says, may I recommend that as you travel along, you do the best you can to keep wagons and animals, and he kind of looks over at the horse and the mule, more silent. The other ones you meet here may not be as accommodating. And he bows his head, and the others sort of bow.
Wait, will
They-
you
they
say
look at
hi to Eldor for me?
And they look at you. You know Eldor? How?
At the Elven King's Hall. He was nice.
And he nods and he says, very well. When we see him next, we will pass along your message. And with that, they all sort of, melt back into the woods with their bows drawn. And there's a little rustle as they pass through the wood, edge, and then silence. And Baldur looks around and says, "Oh, there, you see? I told you, there's people on the lookout for us." But he kind of, as he turns around, you can see he's kind of like not 100% pleased. Go ahead, Inga.
I am not sure that I'm actually more comfortable with having elves looking after me.
He
I
says,
wouldn't say they're looking after us.
they're
looking into
fine. Baldur says, well, he says sometimes they can be difficult, yes, but and he kind of trails off. And
It's not hard to be polite.
And meanwhile, Belgo, who has said nothing about all of this, you notice is kind of maybe even a little bit crouched over. Maybe not. Maybe a little bit too strong. But his head seems to be bowed a little bit as he has his hands around the talisman, as I mentioned before. Okay. That evening, as you guys have made your way, and you sort of settle down again, you find yourselves again feeling the same sort of experience of the darkness that I mentioned before. And the question that I have for you is whether you're going to set watches this time, because given what happened last time, Baldur is nervous, and so he has asked whether you would be willing to set watches, and if so, how do you guys want to do it? Do you want 2 and 2, 1, 1, 1, 1? All of you are up, and then, how do you want to set watches for the night?
I think Robot would probably be happy with one. Yeah.
Then
Let's everyone
gets
get some
enough
rest.
sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, who's going to take the first watch then?
I shall.
Okay. Who is, let's see, who is the second watch?
I can do it. But I do want to try to climb up in a tree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Robot should actually go either first or last because it doesn't have night vision.
Ah.
I guess.
That is true. Well, I'll go last then.
Rosie and I should go like midnight around, I think.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Then Tawny will go first because he also doesn't have night vision, and he can basically, it's part of the end of preparing dinner and cleaning up.
Then I will go second, I guess.
Okay. Tani, make a perception check for me then, please.
No.
Do it!
21.
Wow. You see all. Okay. A couple of things to note. The first is that you are the camp that you guys have found, and actually this was Robar's discovery, is a relatively decent-sized clearing. So much so, in fact, that even a little bit of moonlight is able to shine down. Not really very much to see by, but at least it's nice to have a little bit of fresh air, basically. So you're able to, as you're sort of looking around the clearing, there is the sound of running water, not far away. There we go. Not far away. You can hear sort of trickling. It's not very loud. It doesn't sound like a river, but definitely there is the trickling of what sounds like a stream or something like that that you can hear. And there's much less, again, chittering here or hissing, very little of the eyes that you mentioned. And this seems to be a place perhaps where the creatures seem to avoid, the creatures of the night anyway seem to avoid. It feels a little bit lighter here, I guess is the way that you would describe it, as you're sitting there. But otherwise your watch passes relatively uneventfully. Second up, I think, was Rosie or Inga. Was it Inga?
I was second.
Inga was second.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Inga, as you are in the process of watching and sort of looking around you, I need you to make a perception check as well. So you got a 15, 16?
16.
16. Okay. So you hear some similar things to what I described to Tawny Bear, the trickling of the water, the feeling a little bit lighter here. But as you're sitting there, you hear movement behind you, and you look to see that Baldor has woken up. And he stands up from his bedroll, and he says, have you found anything, Inga, so far?
Far, I don't think.
You could be a little louder, by the way, Terry. You're a little quiet.
Oh,
Could you
okay, sorry.
come up a bit?
Yeah, I had to break it down because planes are flying by.
That's fine.
So I didn't see anything, right?
Other than just what I described, nothing specific. Yeah, no.
Looks quiet so far. I don't think there's anything.
All right, I can't get a wink of sleep tonight. It's been nothing but bad dreams. I'm gonna get myself just a little bit of water. I'll be right back though.
I don't think that's such a good idea. And I just reach beside me and hand him over my water skin so that he can drink some water. Yeah, drinks us instead.
Okay, so
it's
he.
Unwise to leave us. Yeah.
So he says, "All right, thank you." He drinks a little bit from the water skin, and he says, "That's better. I'm just gonna stretch my legs over there at the edge of the clearing." And he hands
Don't go too far. I want to keep an eye. I need to keep an eye on it.
All right. And he hands the water skin back to you.
Also.
Yes.
Before he leaves.
And you attach a leash to him.
If there should be trouble.
That's exactly what I was.
If there should be trouble, makes a noise of an owl 3 times.
3 times like a barn owl.
And twice like a screech owl. Yeah, exactly.
I say that one, yes.
She particularly avoids saying pheasant.
Right, and don't do that. Yeah, exactly. That's funny. So he sort of nods. He has this bemused expression. All right, and he sort of wanders off to the clearing. And then Inga, you hear someone saying, to your left, like basically.
That's probably the boy, right?
I would guess. Are you want to look in that direction?
Okay. Yeah. I go over to him,
It's
kneel
Robar.
down beside him, and then listen in first.
Right, it's Robar who's kind of saying, "Why? No, it's not." It is in fact everyone else slumbers, but it is in fact Belgo, and his eyes are closed. He's on his side with his legs curled up. His hand is still around that talisman, that amulet, and every so often his head kind of jerks and his eyes are scrunched like he's having maybe a bad dream, and he's as he's lying there.
Yeah. What I do? Well, I'm already kneeling beside him, so what I do is that I lean in further and then put my hand on his shoulder and then gently pet his shoulder and see if it calms him down.
Okay. You do this, and he doesn't. He sort of half wakes up a little bit. He doesn't say anything, but he's like, so he kind of half wakes up and then settles back down into what seems like a calmer slumber. His face kind of smooths out, and you can see he's kind of resting a little bit. And then you hear from the edge of the clearing, where you had left Baldur. You hear, who are you? And it's Baldur's voice.
Okay, who's next from the other guys?
So I'm sorry.
Me.
Who's what? Who's
Me.
Rosie's
No,
the next one.
who's closest to me?
They're all fairly close, honestly. Like
Okay,
they're.
so I like reach out to the closest one and wake them up with my hand without
That would
saying a
probably
voice.
be Rosie.
Yeah.
So Rosie, you're shaken awake by Inga. And then
Was I having bad dreams?
No, you were not.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah, you were not. And in fact, Inga, when you were asleep, you didn't have bad dreams either. This was not a place. In fact, if anything, as I told you, it felt like a lighter place here. So it seems odd that there's no curse anywhere here. That it seemed like Belgo is just having his own bad dreams. And you sort of look up at Inga, but before you can say anything, you hear, "Who are all of you? Who are you? Why? Let me go. I need to get back to my wife and my son." And you look over, and at this point, Tawny Bear and Robar, you guys are sort of jarred awake by this as well. Only Belgo remains. And you see Baldur standing at the edge of the clearing. There's now a shaft of moonlight. Thank you for the follow, by the way, everybody. There's a shaft of moonlight piercing into the glade as the moon has sort of cleared over the tallest of the trees. And illuminated in the moon is Baldur, but this does not look like the Baldur. He's the same, but it's not the same Baldur's expression. His face is contorted in fear, and he looks at all of you with not a shred of recognition. And he says, "Why have you taken me? Why have you kept me here? I need to go home."
What's going on?
Oh boy.
Has he gone mad?
And he's sort of like staring at them. He says, "I need to get back to Lake Town. The dragon is coming. I need to warn them now."
The dragon's dead. What? No. Calm down.
And he says, "Be silent, you liar. You thug.
Shit.
You crook. Let me go. Let me go." And now he's yelling.
Very
right?
nice, the lady.
He's yelling loudly. So this is like echoing, and you're all sort of staring at him, and then you hear, "Dad? Dad?" And you see that Belgo is sort of sitting, clearly awake now, bolt upright in the bedroll, and he says, "Dad?" And Baldur says, "Why are you calling me that? Who are you? Where am I? Where? There's fire. There's fire under the mountain. These fools have woken the dragon.
Did someone get the kid out?
You've kidnapped me, you rogues. Where is Belgo? I need you all to make a wisdom and insight check for me, please. Not a saving
God.
I mean,
throw,
I
insight check.
think I know what's wrong. If he's, yeah.
He's gone mad.
No, if he drank something that he wasn't supposed to, maybe.
Okay. All of you really are insightful, yes.
Yes.
Except
see.
Robar, you made a wisdom save. I need an insight check.
Oh
not a
shit.
wisdom
Oh,
save.
it's actually the same roll.
Oh, all right, well. But it does look the same, okay? No, it's fine. All right. All of you can see...
My insight's actually a 5.
It's all the same. All of you can see now that very clearly Baldur is not in his right mind. His eyes are burning with this crazed intensity, and he clearly does not recognize you. He sort of has this defensive posture, like kind of half leaning back type of thing.
I say to Tawny, shut him up! Shut him up!
Yeah, he's making too much noise.
Get away from me! Get away from me, you animals!
Can we knock him out?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
If that's what you want me to do.
Yes,
Rosie, cover the
please.
kid's face.
Yeah, I take the boy by my side.
Mostly the eyes.
And the boy is Belgo is kind of like, "What's wrong with Dad? Dad, don't you recognize me?"
Don't worry
Dad.
about it. He's having a night terror. Just shh.
Dad just needs a little sleep,
Don't
doesn't he?
talk about my son is at home, and you won't stop me. And he turns and bolts into the forest.
No.
Just
Okay,
runs
buddy.
through, making a
Oh my
huge sound like sound.
Okay,
You
buddy.
hear a splashing as if he's splashing through something, and then
Like a.
Is it? It's too much to shoot him in the leg, isn't it?
he's gone. What do you guys want to do? He's running.
Just
You
not
can hear him, but
proportional.
his sounds are getting fainter.
I'm going after him. Somebody stay with the boy.
I was gonna say good
Oh.
because I can't see him.
I can't see in this dark.
Yeah, I guess I should go with Inga then,
Okay.
Yes.
and you guys should.
Now,
You take
I do want to point out, by the way, that
Just stay behind.
I do want to point out that you guys do, I believe, have either torches or lanterns. You were trying to
Yeah.
avoid them because of the creatures, but you could light one if you wanted to see. That, however, will also mess up the dark vision of Rosie and Inga. So I'm just letting you know that it's all balancing act, basically. But Rosie and Inga can see okay, so you guys could go if you wish.
Yes, I will. I dart directly.
Yeah, let's not draw even more attention.
Okay, so you guys run after him. Tawny Bear, you're staying behind. Robar, are you staying behind also?
I don't want to, but yeah.
Okay, what are you, Tawny and Robar, what are you guys doing as you're in the clearing besides just staying there? Like,
Well, since a torch won't bother either of us or the
Yeah.
kid, I'll go ahead and light one up, and maybe I should rephrase that.
I'm gonna shoot up
Have
in
you
here.
ever listened to Jim Morrison?
Don't do drugs, kid.
But bring the torchlight down. Let Robar kind of keep an eye on what's going on in the clearing, since we've got a little bit of moonlight. But I'll try to bring Valgor's focus back to me. Not Russian.
We'll be all right. They are going to fetch your father. Be patient. Stay here with us.
And Belgo nods and he says, I'm okay. I can watch the horses, but you need to save my father. I'm okay. I can stay here with them.
No way, kid.
This is a safe place. I'm okay here, but you have to save him. I don't know what's wrong with him. You have to save him.
They will.
And he
They
kind
can
of-
see in the dark far better than we.
This kid is as much a liability when he's asleep as he is when he's awake.
Do you actually say that out loud?
I say it to myself, yeah. He's quite stressed right
but
now.
far too
I'm like,
loudly. This
I'm-
kid is
yeah.
actually...
I'm like circling the camp, like looking at where those two went, and I'm like a dog. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. Okay. All
I'm
right.
going to give him a piece of leftover honey cake.
Okay, and he sort of chews at it, not really enjoying it that much, but it's something to keep him occupied, like a piece of chewing gum. So he eats that, not enjoying it because it's bad, just because he's not focused on
He's
it.
cry eating.
Yeah, he's exactly. He's like right. Okay.
Salty and sweet.
Why am I eating my
Inga
feelings?
and Rosie. Under normal circumstances, it would probably take someone with expertise in tracking to find this. Fortunately, though, Baldur has clearly not been making any effort to conceal his tracks. There are the branches and matted grass is very obvious that you follow for a few hundred feet, maybe 500-600 feet, and then you come across this stream, and there is muddy ground near it with these big, deep footprints that even a blind dwarf, as it says here, could follow. There is,
Racist.
I know, exactly. How could you say that? But there are these big, deep footprints that are here. So you're able to sort of see that there's footprints on this side, and then you think you see, because the stream is not very wide, on the other side you think you see more footprints, like he literally just waded through and just kept going on the other side of the stream.
So these are human-sized footprints.
Well, you're not there, but
You're not.
I know I'm not there. It's just big, deep footprints. Makes it sound like it's somebody else's footprints. That's why.
I see what you're saying. No, they're more like the footprints of someone who was moving at great speed,
Okay.
or trying to.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Is there a way to get across without touching it?
Not unless you go up or down the stream to find a sign, to try to find some path or something like that that crosses over it. You may remember the clearing. Excuse me. The clearing is off to the side of the path, so it's possible you could get back onto the path, and maybe there'd be a a bridge or a ford or something like that. But from here, it doesn't look like it. You probably couldn't. It's too wide to jump. So
Is there a canopy overhead?
there is a fairly tall tree canopy, but it's up pretty high before it connects. It's not as dark or dense here. So in other words, you have to climb a good way before you climbed over. But you could try to do that if you wish.
What are you thinking, Inga?
Yeah, I think it's our best shot right now.
Huzzah!
Around would take too long. Yes. Yeah, I'll basically. I don't know what it's called, but like I give her a hand lifter up.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna clamber up. All right. I would like you to make a. Let's do an acrobatics check here.
Cool.
Hello, Centipede.
Yes, little Arv is here with me,
And
now awake.
Okay.
oh god. Yeah, no.
So actually, I should say that for Inga, Inga, I need from you not an acrobatics but an athletics. From Rosie, I need an acrobatics. So.
Oh, good. I get a bonus of 4 on that. So.
Hey, twinsies.
Nice.
Or are you gonna? Oh, you're just bonus 4, so 15. Okay. So.
No, it's included.
No, it's included. So
It's
I don't,
11.
because I don't get an acrobatics bonus because I don't.
Oh,
get
you just I saw that you just redid it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you unfortunately, you try your bestest. You push up very hard, and Rosie. The problem is that to get up to the trunks where the branches are actually accessible is not easy, especially since a dwarf is trying to push up a hobbit, push up a halfling, and so you are not. You're like sort of pulling up. You can't get to the branches here. You're like, and then drag right back down again.
Stupid fat habits. Plan B. I take my rope and an arrow.
Mm-hmm. Love
And
it.
we'll-
Love
Shoot a
it.
peasant.
And do a proper green arrow impression.
Yeah.
With, like I knot the arrow, the rope to the arrow and shoot at a tree on the other side.
Yeah.
Get it stuck
Yes.
there.
Yes.
We can pull ourselves
Okay.
like out of the mud while we are walking across the mud. Basically.
Okay. You should be able to do that. So, try. Let's see. Let's make a. How am I going to do this? Let's make just a simple dexterity roll. I think we'll say, to see whether you're able to shoot it, because you are shooting. Although you can see in the dark, Inga, you are still somewhat shooting in dim light. I mean, this is not the easiest shot in the world. So you shoot at the other end, sort of in the darkness, and you hear the sound of. It sounds like a thunk, but it's not the satisfying. I've embedded solidly in wood. You don't know if it's a branch or if you hit some leaves or what. But as you pull back, it feels pretty springy to you, like brum, brum, like it does not feel like it's very well embedded in whatever you shot it at.
Do you want
then
me to
I-
try that?
Do you know how to handle a bow?
Do I know how to handle a bow?
That was the question.
Well,
You're not there.
and while she does that, I pull at the rope to see if it comes loose again.
It does come
I,
free.
Yeah. And then I pull it.
Rosie, go ahead and make a dexterity for me, please. Excuse me. Thunk. Same thing. You feel like you guys you're beginning to feel like you're sort of taking shots in the dark here. And which is literally the case. Yes, as my daughter points out, you are, in fact, taking shots in the dark. And you're not really hitting straight on to this. It seems like an idea that's a good idea, but you're not having success sort of aiming properly. In the meantime, the sound of Baldur has almost died away.
Oh god. Okay, then plan C. How far is the mud, like the river or what that is? Or whatever.
It's probably maybe 10 to 15 feet wide. Maybe 20
It's
feet.
like 3 meters, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just look at Rosie. Here, hold this. I give her the end of the rope.
Hold my beer.
Pick her up and throw her across the
No!
floor as I can.
No! I will fight you.
I-
They said not to touch.
Okay, are you actually trying to streamline yourself, Rosie, or are you like, oh god, no, as you're being thrown across?
It's how many feet across?
10, 12 feet, probably. Maybe 15.
And how many feet tall are you?
No, I'm trying to get out of it.
Okay,
No, like
so-
a cat.
What I will need is to have Inga. I need you to make a strength roll. Rosie, you're going to make a strength roll. You're going to make opposed rolls here. Inga's like, come on, and Rosie, no. So we're going to see who wins this Titanic struggle.
Is Rosie the Hobbit?
Rosie is the Hobbit. Yeah.
Yeah, the Hobbit is Protestant.
Rosie. So, but not a strength save though, Inga.
It's
Oh God. Wait. Then how? Wait. What do I click?
you just
Click on the number beneath strength.
If
in
you
your-
click on the word strength.
Yeah. In your stats, where you got strength, dexterity, constitution. Just click on the word strength.
Yeah, of course
On
does.
the word. Okay. Haha. There we go.
15.
Do I not? I think I must have it. Let me reload. I didn't see that.
Sometimes roll 20 d6 for some reason.
Let us resync roll 20.
It says 15.
Yeah, I see a 15.
Yeah. Me too.
I believe you. I just am.
Oh,
yeah, there
good.
it is. I see it. Okay, so unfortunately, Rosie, you lose this battle. Fortunately for you.
Oh, no.
And Inga
Wow.
throws you across. Now, Rosie, I'm going to need you to see what happens to make an acrobatics check to see whether you land on the other side of the stream or whether, as you flail, you end up falling right into the middle of the stream. So let's see what happens as you.
So, this is all a slapstick episode, as you guys.
Okay.
What?
What?
Who's throwing it?
Inga, the dwarf, is throwing her. So, Rosie, you just sort of like embed in the mud on the other side, like half on your back, and you're like right next to the water, but not in it. But it's like right there. You're like, ah. So
Get
you're up
away
on,
from it.
you're up on the other side, and you have made it to the other side. You see Inga giving you a thumbs up on the other side of the.
I give her a different finger.
Okay, there are tracks on this side, and they are leading into the trail of tracks leads into the woods.
How are you gonna get across?
Yeah, I gave you the rope. Just make a knot on the other side, bend it to a tree or something. While she, right after I told her that, I just do the same with the other end
Okay.
where I'm standing.
All right, and you are Rosie. Assuming you do this, do you?
Yeah, I would want to try to make it high though, in case. So maybe she could just skim across the top. If I could try to on this side, if the trees are lower,
Okay.
because don't touch the stream.
Okay. So
Egon.
you're able to set it as high as you're able to make it, which is,
About 3.5 feet.
right. So you're able to, well, I mean, she can stretch a bit with her arm, but I mean, pretty much. And you're able to set it, and then you are able to tie it pretty tight. Inga, you can cross it. Now, do you want to try to tightrope across the top, or just kind of hold on, like hanging onto it, and crossing over hand?
Yeah, that's the last one.
Okay. So you're going to do that.
Do like a circus act here. That's
Right, okay. I'm going to ask you to make a strength check then. Athletics is fine here, actually, to do that. You are, as you're going, you're uncomfortably close to the water's edge. But you have no problem. I mean, whatever, you've done. So you just you Cirque du Soleil it, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, hand over hand. You get to the other side. Exactly, yeah, exactly. And you land on the other side and just place yourself like Olympic athlete, Rosie staring at you.
and I do like some stretching poses.
Yeah, right, exactly, some stretching pose. So you are now also able to see these tracks on the other side that Rosie sees that sort of go off into the dark woods.
Who's next?
Well, I just
Come on.
Okay.
No stopping, just running.
So you
running,
guys
get
run
this guy.
following the trail. The trail plunges into these dark woods, and you go for actually probably 5-10 minutes or so, just sort of, running after broken branches. Robar and Tawny Bear, you heard running, then you heard what? Then you heard then you heard a thunk, then you heard some angry yelling from somebody. And then you hear more sound of crashing in the woods fading away slowly. And you, as sort of Belgo is watching all of this or listening to all of this with this wide look on his face, this wide-eyed expression. Rosie and Inga, you go for a good, as I said, about 10-15 minutes or so, and following, broken branches, and then the trail stops. Like you're just going, and then all of a sudden there's nothing. Branches, 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 and absolutely nothing.
I would like to look.
The trees.
Yeah.
Oh god, maybe it's spiders. Please don't
Look,
open
I would like to
spiders.
look up, please.
Make a investigation check for me, please.
Oh boy.
Let's do that.
Good things happen to smaller groups, exactly, Wolfstreak. Okay.
Hey!
Nice.
Wow. Okay. We've got,
Like the only numbers I roll are 11, 9, and 20.
I was good. Well, listen, just as long as you roll them at the right times.
But see, 11 plus 9 is 20.
It's 20.
That's exactly right.
There's a bug. There's a bug.
Okay. You are able to see a few strands of webbing that are hanging from the two trees nearby. And as you're sort of looking around, you can see other bits of sort of web and stuff like that on the ground. If you had to guess, Rosie, Inga, you see the strands of webbing, but Rosie, if you had to guess, you would bet that Baldur blundered into a spider web at such speed that he pulled the web off the trees it was anchored to. And you have this guess because as you look a little farther, there are just barely visible here drag marks on the ground, as if something has dragged something fairly large, not large like huge, but like, at least human-sized, off into the woods.
Leave him. He's gone.
Okay,
I think
Sorry, kid.
we might need the others.
The others.
The others,
We will need the others.
as we call them, the non-stream crossers.
No, he said udders.
Oh, the udders, yes, that too. Way to milk a joke, Trent.
I would call them cigarettes.
oh.
What's up? Okay.
All right. Maybe. Are you faster than me or not?
I happen to know that dwarves are excellent speedrunners.
Over short distances.
Excellent over short distances, yes.
Maybe if you run back and yell, "Don't touch the stream," but yell at the guys to come here, and then we follow, and I'll hide.
Like barely as she finishes the sentence, I've already gone like yum.
And I will hide.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, Inga, you're going to continue in that direction. Rosie gets back. Rosie, are you yelling this across the stream, or are you taking the rope? Are you walking it, walking or climbing across?
I told Inga to.
Oh, I'm sorry, Inga, you're doing this. So, and Rosie, you're following. You're hiding, or are you following? Or are you just hiding?
I am hiding.
You're hiding. Okay, sorry. Make a stealth check for me as you do that. And Inga, are you taking the rope back?
No, I leave the rope there.
No, but I'm saying, how do you get back over the stream?
Are you using it to get across?
Is the stream at like a reasonable shouting distance? Like, do I feel like if I shout here?
You could. I mean, you'd
will
have to
the
shout loud.
spiders hear me?
Well, I don't know. I mean, if you shout loud enough for the others to hear you, other
No,
creatures
but
could
what
hear you
does
too.
my gut tell me in this situation? That's what I-
You think the stream is close enough that if you were to yell over the stream, probably your companions would hear you, but it's probably the case you'd have to shout loud enough that other things might hear you as well.
Okay, then I will.
Also, Jedi, nicely done. I see what you did there. And I'd like to subscribe to your newsletter.
Okay. What I first try is do the Bano thingy, the bird cry, like maybe the guys will catch on to it.
You hoop twice like a Tony
Yeah,
Owl.
okay. Okay,
Yeah, that's it.
so you say that, Tawny Bear and Robar, you guys hear that, and Belgo kind of looks up at you confused.
That's the signal, I think.
I'm trying to remember if Tawny Bear was there when they said to.
Well, you were all there. But it's like,
Will
the thing is,
doesn't
like,
remember,
these
but I feel like
birds
Robar
don't-
would.
don't live in these woods. That's why I chose these birds.
Wait, is that a pheasant?
So, was that mentioned before Tawny woke up, or was that after?
No, that's the thing. That's why I said like.
Okay.
I try like maybe you guys will catch on to that that you hear bird noises of birds that don't belong here. So yeah. That's the idea. But it's like,
it's a long shot for Rover. Maybe he would. Could I roll like an insight check on that of to see if I would think this was odd?
Yes, you can do that. Yes.
Because I think if Will was in the woods and I heard a bird, I wouldn't be like, that is
True.
a bird not native to these lands.
Will, despite
but
being
you are
a
a
D&D sex
ranger,
icon,
my
is not a
character knows
Dunedain,
that you
right?
are a
I was
ranger.
gonna say.
Nice roll.
Very
Wow.
different line of work. However,
Fortunately, Robar is like, the signal has arrived. Like you're like, I know what that is. That's not native to this wood
Wait,
this time of year. And
that's an invasive species of bird.
precisely.
I go off to murder it. No,
Dinner.
I say that must be Inga. Do you all want to go? Do you want to stay here? The kid.
Child.
Can't really leave him.
And Belgo says, I'm fine. I just want you
No.
to save my
No,
dad.
you're not. You're just not okay, kid. That much is clear.
And he says, but, well, I don't
No
know if we
buts.
can leave. I don't know if we can leave the mule in the wagon here.
Oh, damn it. Do I want the dad or the kid?
I'm going to be fine. And you do notice that the clearing is fairly open, and as I mentioned, kind of, seems lighter, somewhat.
Okay, what about we give him a signal in case anything bad happens? He screams something.
And he nods to you.
General,
What do you want me to?
Loudly.
What do
I
you want me
wanted
to shout? I can do
I
that.
want to shout like a wood pigeon.
Oh, and he kind of looks at you very confused. He's like, a wood pigeon?
Just scream help. That'll do.
Okay. I can do that.
I am not leaving this child.
Okay, you stay here. If anything terrible happens,
You'll know.
oh no, I run off like a hound.
Okay. So, Robar, you run, and Inga, assuming you wait for a minute or two. Okay, so you run and find a rope is crossing this stream nearby. There's some muddy tracks that are now somewhat confused because they also seem to have, there's some small tracks, there's some larger tracks.
It's a hobbit-sized
And there
divot.
seems to be a hobbit-sized divot on the
A
other
hobbit
side of the
lane.
stream. You don't really like, what is this? And there's a rope across, and you see Inga on the other side of the stream.
As if a Dunedain can't jump 12 feet.
Right. Yep. I ask her what's happened.
Well, come over first.
Oh.
I think we have. Well, I mean, he's probably. Oh, well, I guess 3 meters is like okay to talk. What you said.
Yeah, you can talk
I-
across the stream, okay.
Okay.
We'll can
okay, then I'm
talk.
just like, I think the father was kidnapped by spiders. It's bad, and yes.
It's probably eaten by spiders. I don't think they kidnap people, do
They
they?
don't eat people that.
Are they ransoming him off?
I have a certain set of
Cost money. Yeah, I will. I'll use her rope across, I guess, if that's possible.
Okay.
Shimmy.
Alrighty. And you're able to, and in fact, you can do that easily. You probably could jump this fairly easily too if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Just make an athletics check for me, but it's a pretty easy one. I would suggest not critically failing.
11?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you're able to make it with ease. You land on the other side, and again, you see this very deep impression, and it looks like there's a lot of like flail, like something. There seems like the mud is really disturbed on this side, and it seems odd to you. You're like, and you kind
Has
of.
Rosie been rolling around in the mud again?
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
Okay.
Keep telling her.
Now you guys are presumably set off, and within, again, about 10 minutes or so, Rosie, you hear the approaching sound of footsteps.
I stay hidden.
Okay. Inga and Robar. Inga is filled in Robar by this point, I assume. And as you arrive close, Inga and Robar, go ahead and make a perception check for me. Rosie, are you trying to stay hidden and stealthy, or are you going to jump out and be like, hey, ta-da?
Oh yeah. No, if I see them, I will try to surprise them.
Okay.
That always goes over well.
Yeah. As I get
I leap
stabbed
out
in
like
the
a spider,
gut.
and yeah, exactly. Okay, so Inga's got a 15. Robar, I don't see your
Oh, sorry, mate. What was I meant to roll?
perception.
Perception, all right. This could only go well. Nope.
You're like, I see nothing.
Darkness.
I see darkness. Inga, you think you might actually you suspect that Rosie is hidden around here somewhere because she said she was going to do that, but you don't actually see her. And then Rosie, what do you do as you leap forth?
I sneak up behind them and
Tackle him with my web.
This is what happens, Tawny Bear, when you stay behind to take care of a kid. The other kids, you know. So Rosie comes up behind, like, okay.
like I would try to.
What's the reaction? What do we good? How do we
I try to. I just grab both of their butts.
Okay. So Inga and Robar, what are your?
I think I would jump.
That's their reaction. Yeah.
That's the reaction. Yeah, that's my son in the background.
We figured we didn't think it was part of this.
That is not becoming for a Dunedain to have his butt touched unceremoniously.
Hold on, my son wants in. Let me here, bring him
Well, have him roll perception.
I didn't want you to think it was a spider.
Spiders might touch my butt. I don't
taking
know.
him away.
They would never.
So I cannot give you what it would actually sound like, but just picture Mini Arf banging on the door trying to get
Are those pajama pants you're wearing?
Yes, they are.
Awesome.
Respect.
These are they're actually my Peanuts pajama pants. They Snoopy,
The
everything.
famous ones.
The family got matching Christmas ones, which is dorky and awesome. So that's
I remember that live stream where you were all on screen, always mentioning
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, I love it. Actually, it was funny because my daughter was so excited to have the matching pants. They're really warm. Anyway, this is what
Just take
happens
a
when I
picture and
stream on
send
an
it to
island.
Hallmark and make a card. Okay?
Right, exactly. Like, check us out. Please pay us money to be an awesome American family. That's what you want, right? Okay, so you guys follow this. You know, you're like, right, exactly. Rosie's behind you,
Don't do that.
and you look around to see Rosie kind of grinning.
I didn't want you to think it was a spider.
Spider impression is not the best one. I must say.
Yeah,
No,
that's-
wasn't meant to be. It was supposed to be a bad one. So you didn't think it was a spider and then stabbed me.
Let's keep our hands to ourselves, shall we?
Oh, that's a good idea.
So, does anybody have a plan? Did anybody of
So
you ever deal with giant spiders before?
no, as far as I'm concerned, if he's been taken, then he's probably dead.
No, I doubt it. I don't know if you are familiar with what happened here a good 5 years ago. In these woods, when our king...
Sorry, Terry, you're still really quiet. Can you come up some?
Oh god, sorry. How about this?
That's
Is
better.
this- Okay. I don't know if you are familiar with the story of how about 5 years ago our king traveled through these woods and they were all captured by giant spiders. Are you
Right.
familiar with the story?
Vaguely.
That
thing is,
sounds
though,
terrible.
those guys were all heroes, fighters. This guy is a man, and there's 3 of us.
Well, I mean, it was the Hobbit who freed them alone, all of them.
Sure.
I
We
get a
have the
gleam
hobbits.
in my eye.
So the story goes. Do we? I guess we'll go find him. We'll
Yes.
assess from there. Let's go quietly though, and no touching butts.
It was a one-time thing. Don't get your panties in a twist.
No, they weren't twisted until.
That's what I was waiting for.
You give him a wedgie, yes?
Yeah, that's really what I was trying to do.
Everything was
You're-
fine until it
To be
wasn't.
fair, you really untangled them.
Yes.
All right,
sneaky.
that's-
So sneaky.
Okay.
Let's sneak along.
Yes, we think.
All right. So, get rid of that. Sorry, chat. I had to check something quickly, and I didn't want to reveal things I shouldn't yet reveal. There we go. There's your window back. Okay. And by the way, I should say we've got about 40 minutes left or so, 35 to 40 minutes left. You are watching day 3 of Wilderland Adventures, Adventures of Middle-earth, sponsored by Cubicle 7, with my wonderful players, Trendane Sparks, Terry Toons, Will from Encounter Roleplay, Lauren Irwin, previously of Encounter Roleplay, now of that and here. And these folks are in the midst of trying to...
Oh yeah, I quit, Will, by the way.
Well, I said that and here. I wasn't trying to take you away. But I mean, listen, we all know that sometimes you have to upgrade in your chat. No, I'm just kidding.
Real quick before this, my internet is starting to freak out. So if I drop, that's what it is.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But hopefully you guys in chat are enjoying this. If so, please make sure to follow the channel. Please, if you can, sub to the channel, do all the things, and check out all these individual people's things also. I don't know if I have a command yet. If not, I need to get one up there quickly, like an AME command, so that I can add things with all the players' links and stuff. But I'll give you guys a chance to find out about all of them again at the end of the stream. And we'll be playing again, excuse me, with this same session, the same adventure, a couple of weeks from now. Assuming that I can actually clear my throat in a way that actually works. There we go. That's better. I'm glad, Brahms. I'm glad that you do. So, back to the adventure. So, you guys travel through this trail following the spider drag marks, and it goes a little bit faster now that you know what it is. It's clearly spiders that did this, because you can see more and more webs as time goes along, so you can see more webs kind of going as you drag them through. And eventually, as you follow this trail, you are brought to another clearing and see something rather unusual in the moonlight. There is a castle here, a small one, that is standing on a low hill amid the sea of green trees. It's anybody's guess whether this was elves or men who built this castle, but it has fallen into ruin. There are no trace that remains of defensive walls or outbuildings or anything else. All there is a single round tower and part of what must have been once the keep. The keep is crumbled and collapsed in on itself, leaving only one corner still standing as like a T-shaped wall, basically. But both the tower and the wall are covered in a dense shroud of cobwebs, and web strands run between the tower and the wall. And you also see this, and I'm going to bring you folks over to...
This is not good.
No.
Oh, this is not good. Not the previous part about the one guy we are paid to protect being kidnapped by spiders.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a spider map I prepared earlier. Oh, good.
Alrighty.
That's my problem with games, because I never do maps. When I do make a map, I'm like obviously about to do a combat, so I'm like, yeah, I just did this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. People are like, really?
Okay. So now I have just shared a handout for you guys. I'm going to show it to the folks in chat as well. This is what you... Oh, wait. I'm going to show it to you, by which I mean actually so you can see what the cool part is. Okay, there we go. You guys should be able to see it now.
It's painting in line by line for me.
I know.
It's like CompuServe in 1983.
Here we go. I just brought you over.
It doesn't mean I can see it yet. And by that, I mean the art that you shared is...
But I put it on... Now you should be able to see it on Roll20.
Uh-huh.
So, at the top of the wall is a wriggling bundle of webbing, roughly man-sized.
That's our man. Well,
That's good. Does someone want to stand under him and I can shoot the webbing?
Well, here's the thing. There's spiders around, and he might still be insane. So if we were to get him out of here, then we can't just have him running off again. Yeah, knock him out if he isn't already unconscious. I mean, he seems to be wriggling, so... Yeah, we need to knock him out and I can carry him away or something.
How far up is he?
So, he is a good distance up there. The wall on top of which he is hanging is at least 30 feet high. And
you're already up there, aren't you?
Yeah. And there are no signs, actually. In fact, this is... Hold on a second. This is inaccurate, so I shall delete these. All right. There are no sign as of yet of any spiders at first glance. And in fact, the whole thing is rather eerie. There's only an occasional sound of a thump as whoever this wriggling figure is that's stuck in the web is wrestling and struggling against his bonds. So you would need to either, and you guys can see the map in front of you, you would need to either climb the wall, or you would need to climb the spiral staircase, because you can see that you can sort of see the interior of it, and then you can see that there is webbing that maybe, I mean, you don't know, but maybe you could like clamber across it to the wall. But the creature that you're looking for, the struggling creature, is right there where I just pinged on the map. And so it's about...
Bring us to the player, drag players over.
I did. You don't see it?
The bookmark.
No, now I
there
do.
it
I
goes.
did.
Ah, there it is.
I did that before. I don't know what's happening with my Roll20. I did that before. Anyway, I just did
maybe
it
we're
again.
decent. I see it.
Okay.
So he is right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mhm.
And so
I
you...
don't see the marker wherever you click.
If you shift and click, it will like pull us over there. Like hold down shift, then
there
hold
it
down
is.
click.
Okay, yes.
I got it.
There you go.
Right there. And
I
you
see.
guys are over on this side. And actually, let me quickly... Let me copy you guys over. Hold on a second. There's those figures.
Right.
Give me just a minute, and I'm going to pull you guys over. Nope. There we go. Tiny
Gotta be
Bear is not
somewhere
there,
around
so...
somewhere. Spiders have left to attend their yearly webinar.
Okay. There is... I forget who that... I think that's Robar that
Oh,
I
that's
just put down.
me, I think, yeah.
Double check and make sure you still have control of yourself whilst I get the others.
I got him.
Okay.
Huh. We're quite a way away, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And there is, I think that's Rosie?
No, that's with the
Or is that
X,
Inga? That's Inga, that's
Inga.
Inga, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. And Rosie is coming over here right now. Okay. There you are, Rosie.
Yep.
So there you guys are, and you can see what you see. So you can kind of see him, as I say, the keep is sort of half destroyed, so you can see over the wall to where he is currently struggling.
Okay.
Okay, so do we see any spooters?
You do not, actually. There's no sign of any of them at first glance, although very clearly there's lots of webs around here, and there's any number of places where they could be hiding.
Yeah, I get the feeling they might be in a nice dark hole somewhere, or if they have gone there nearby. So, I suggest the kind of sneakiest of us maybe goes up ahead, and then I can try and pull him down and carry
I
him
think we
away.
should set up a distraction and then have one person grab them. and
Oh,
then
well
we can back in the
volunteered.
camp.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, Inga.
That's a good idea, Inga. How do you want to distract them?
Is that a fire?
Ooh.
No, that's an idea, right?
Yeah. I
I-
like it.
I'll hand her some of my torches.
Now,
So I
I should
think
say that,
that-
I should say quickly that nothing is moved yet, and so
Only we can prevent forest fires.
Yet.
yeah, right. Yet
not
nothing
yet.
is moved yet, and the webs are over by the, like the webbing is sort of over by the keep where you are, like the tower here with the spiral staircase. So you would need to go over there to do it. Also, the webbing is all interconnected. So the webbing is, from what you can tell, it's a little hard to see, but connected to the stairs, up to the wall, bridged across, wall over, and then basically wound into the struggling whoever that is.
Right. But if I have a feeling if we touch the webbing, we just basically say, hey, we're over here. Come eat us.
I
mean,
would
you could start
sneak
a-
around on the other
Mhm.
side. Walk about like, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. Set a fire in that direction and then track back. And when you see the fire going and then hopefully the spiders going to the fire, then you should make a run
I
for Belgor.
feel like the
for
spiders
Balor.
might move away from the fire, though.
See?
Well, I don't think they're firefighters.
Yeah, but
They're probably
oh,
scared.
Maybe there are adventurers who are camping there, or maybe they're...
Oh, yeah, I suppose if it's like a campfire, yeah. If it was like a blaze, I feel like they'd
No,
probably.
I don't intend to set the entire forest on fire.
Okay, just making that clear.
Yeah.
We just set her off on an arsonist spree around the fire, fire.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. And then we'll sneak in. I'll knock him out, take him back, and yeah, we'll meet back up at the camp.
If the fire is not up within the next 20 minutes, then something went wrong.
Well,
And then just do whatever you think makes sense at that moment. I'll trust
yeah,
you.
I'll come after you.
we'll see.
We'll
Okay.
go after her.
So you're going to, Inga, go over stealthily as you can.
Around the thing.
Okay, so go ahead and move. Let's move your character to where you're going to go to.
I'll go this route up here through the woods.
Okay.
And then here, and...
Well, okay, whoa.
This is the direction I'm
That's the
going.
path you're going to take. I got you.
Yes.
Okay, so you know, the green areas here are fairly dense. The dark green beyond that are essentially impenetrable. I mean, you could get through it if you had, I don't know how long. Like if you had, thank you, honey.
If I had an X.
Yeah, like I mean, yes, but but chopping through it is going to take a while.
Yeah, and it's also noisy.
Right. This area is more navigable, although not easy, but you could do it. This place is not really in any functional way suitable. So.
Okay. Then different plan. I go the other way around. I go down here.
Okay.
And that I arrive here at this end and make fire here, basically.
Okay. Let's start by making a stealth check for me as you get here. So let's start with that.
Stealth. Character sheet open. Not opening? Ah, there it is. Stealth. 14?
Okay. All right. You're able to get down there fairly without making too much of a sound. That seems reasonable. Then next stage, you're going to where next?
Here, basically. I just follow along the paths I can actually walk along.
Okay. So you're able to sort of push through. Okay.
But stay within the greenery.
Okay. So go ahead. You don't need to make a stealth check yet. When you get over to here-ish, then I need you to make a stealth check there.
Yeah, that's where I want to go.
Okay, so make another one there.
Yeah, I have to reopen the character sheet every time because I can't put my character.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
Oh, wow.
Hey, natural 20!
You just, you move through, like you become part of the forest, as you go through it. Completely silent. Okay. You're now able to see as you get closer here that on this side over here, there are dozens of large spiders that are currently nesting. They seem to be sleeping. There's no skittering about, but there are many large-bodied, all your size basically, spiders that are over there, like dozens.
Okay, I did not take this into account. God damn it. I mean, I could sneak back, but then I could run a problem that I might wake the spiders up or and nothing works. So I think I will just stick with the plan with the fire.
Okay. So I do want to say, by the way, you could sneak back with much more ease than sneaking to.
Okay.
Because you've already established a path. I'm not trying to make you do that. I'm just letting you know that you could do that if you wish. Because now you see where the spiders are, and they all seem to be over here. So.
Well,
and here.
or I could sneak
and here.
up to
and here. Sorry.
Well, I could sneak up to Baldur, I guess, but he hangs up high. You said.
Yes, like 30 feet above the ground.
Okay, so I can't reach him.
You
So
could climb.
climbing, and
You
when
could maybe climb the wall. or you could maybe climb the stairs and then take the web across if it holds you to the wall. But those look both difficult but possible.
Oh God, I'm at a loss. Oh, you know what? I'll give it a shot. I'll try to sneak over and see what I can do from this place.
Okay, which place? The tower, or I mean the staircase, or the wall?
Well, the idea is that I first get to Belgor. Like, I mean, I could try to just shoot the webbing above him and then catch him as he falls down, right?
You could maybe, although this is a lot of web. You're not going to be able to do that with a set of arrows.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Or
it's
just
not
like like climb up the wall itself.
Could do that if you want. Sure.
Yeah. Okay, I'll attempt that.
Okay, so
this
then
is not gonna spectacularly backfire or anything.
right. I mean, what could go wrong? Okay, so
Yeah,
you're gonna go right. You're gonna go here, presumably, or are you gonna go right underneath
I'll
him?
try to stay in. Well, staying in the shadow is.
Okay. You're able to do that without any trouble. In fact, it's pretty. I mean, it's open ground, but there's nothing to sort of stumble over or anything, so you're fine as far as getting there. Now, to climb up this one, the wall is high. It looks climbable. But one of the things that you'll have to be careful of is not to get stuck on the webs yourself as you go, because it's covered by webs, which makes it possible for you to climb, but also makes it possible for you to get stuck. So you'll need to basically, as you're climbing, make an athletics check as you're in the process of kind of going up this wall.
I shall do that. Come on. 14?
So you're like pulling up, climb, and then and like one of the webs gets stuck around your arm, and so you're about now like 20 feet up, and you're like and your arm is stuck. Now you can, if you wish, try to cut through the web if you like.
The way you're saying that is totally reassuring. But yeah, I don't really have a
Always.
choice. I
It is
guess
my
it'd be
job to
better.
reassure you.
You could hoot.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Actually, yeah, I will try that.
Okay. So you're
Wait.
going to...
Actually, can they not?
There's
Can they
no
actually
one.
see me from there? I mean, they can see Baldur. He is 30.
They
feet
can
in
see
the-
Yeah.
Baldur, who is 30 feet
We've
up. You are
probably moved by this point, though.
Well, I was assuming even if you were in the same spot that you probably can't quite see Inga, because Inga is about midway up the wall, maybe 15, 20 feet, and Baldur is just visible to you. So basically she's another 5, 10, well, 10 feet really below him. So you haven't quite gotten high enough to be seen. So you're going to make this hoot, though?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Okay.
know.
This is a pretty easy one. Make a perception check, Robar and Rosie, for me, please.
As we stand in awkward
We're just like silently standing next to each
Yeah.
other. So come here often.
Oh, Jesus. Of course that's what it would be.
13.
Nat 20.
That's nice. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. You
Someone cool.
definitely, yeah, Robar, you think you hear a hooting. Rosie, you're like, that sounds like someone who's hooting and stuck and in trouble. Like, I mean, you hear all things.
There's someone down a well.
It
My
sounds like,
ears
yes, it
perk
sounds
up.
like, it definitely sounds like Inga.
I think she's in trouble.
Let's go
From,
find her.
yeah, from that way. And I point.
I thought I heard a hooting.
Well, you were breathing pretty loudly, so.
I do that. I do that when I'm nervous.
Okay.
All right.
I'll head over to Inga. I hope Tiny Bear's okay. That damn kid.
Meanwhile, at the camp, that would be like the
damn-
perfect transition. I hope he's
Exactly.
okay.
Exactly.
That damn kid.
No, we're not back to Tiny Bear yet. I am still with the three of you.
Also, is my audio better now?
Yes, your audio is better.
Okay.
Grumpy Bear is already stuck in webs. Pretty much. Tawny Bear is not there, actually. Tawny Bear is back with Belgo, watching after him in this clearing. So, while the three of them are there. Okay, so you are going to make your way over. So, Rosie, I need you to make a stealth check as well. You're going, just to be clear, are you going around this direction? Are you going, like, around the top of the...
I'll
okay.
go. Yeah, I'm gonna go around the north. Yeah.
Okay.
21.
Okay, yeah, I mean, you're able to make it with no trouble at all. You can now see on the other side. Thank you, sweetie. You can now see on the other side, as I move my glass of water, you can now see on the other side, you see the clear figure of this webbed figure struggling, and below him, another not very webbed figure also struggling. No, I was talking about the webbed one here. You are not struggling, but you do have your you do see Inga sort of hanging on. Her arm seems to be stuck in the web, and she's got her axe out, sort of, you know, holding it near it or something, and you see her about 20 feet up the wall.
I try to look like I'm not stuck. I tried to make it look like this was planned.
I'll, through arm motions, say, do you want me to shoot you free and you grab on?
So you see, like, the semaphore attempt, right?
At
like,
me,
yeah, I was just gonna say, like,
I'm signing
the bow, you know, something about shooting you in the head. It's not totally.
I was gonna say it's the point at which she gets to. Do you want me to shoot you? It's like, no, no.
Oh, and I just sign back. What did you say about my mother?
But you said it was very offensive in Dwarvish.
Yeah, exactly. Damn it.
I'm sorry.
Well, I can just leave you there.
Can I see this at this point?
Not unless you want to
No,
go over
I
there.
just wave her over to get closer to me so that we can actually.
You hear nothing, Robara, unless you want to follow Rosie. Do you want to go
I'll
around?
follow Rosie, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check for me as well, please.
I touch everyone's butts as I get up behind them.
Cautious and quiet.
What, a stealth check?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright.
Rabar,
So-
Rabar,
So
Rabar.
you get to about here. So go ahead and move your character up there.
Okay.
Move it.
About here, yeah?
Yeah, a little bit higher than that. Like, you're sort of looking around there.
Kind
yeah.
of in the woods, yeah.
Yeah, and you're sort of looking around, and then you're sort of moving around, and then your foot kind of catches on a rock and stubs the wall, and you're like, ah, son of a, right? So you hear, so you guys hear this, son of a, and then you hear a little bit of what sounds like chittering.
I hide.
Okay, where exactly do you hide in the middle
I'll
of this open
show
land?
you. Yeah,
Belly
no.
of a spider.
I figured I would have to explain it. Dude. Let's go for.
I will hide in this bit of shrubbery here.
Okay. No one heard that. No one heard that.
I guess I would try to go to the other side of this wall.
I just hold my breath and try not to move.
Exactly.
It's like
what
you're
was
in the
that?
water.
Everything going
Son
wrong.
of Sauron. Okay, you're hiding on. Wait, did you just say you're trying to hide, Inga, at all?
No. I said I'm stuck, right? So I'm
Yes.
just like holding as perfectly still as I can.
As you can. Okay, I thought you were gonna like.
Yeah.
I try to hide in the wall. I'm like, I'll be clever.
I just merge with the wall.
I just
basically.
merge,
I
but
put
become
on
one with the
my,
wall.
Chameleon.
Yes.
Be the
camouflage.
wall.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Rosie. So yeah, Baldur's nice. So Rosie, you were able to kind of crawl through, and you're on the other side of these rocks, where you see a lot now of these creatures. So let me
shit.
show you some of the
Oh,
stuff
I'm
that's
sorry.
popping up.
I keep forgetting. I don't know how, but I keep forgetting.
Crazy spiders. Crazy spiders.
Crazy spiders. Okay.
Ah!
Oh god.
Not quite that big.
Oh, no one told me there were spiders over here.
Okay.
I've been
I
misrepresented.
did not know they were over there. I know there are spiders on the other side. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
I never would have thought there would have been spiders here, guys. Right by the webs.
No one could have expected. Okay.
So many of them.
we
All right.
we
so,
weren't equipped.
so you see, as you're sort of looking, Rosie, you see from your place at least about 7, 6, 7, 8, 9 spiders begin to sort of move and shift, and you see them kind of looking around, their strange bulbous eyes moving, their legs and mandibles kind of clicking as they're looking over to find whatever it is that made some noise just now.
Oh, son of a.
Oh, I will.
You're like this. He did
leave.
Rushing into the trees.
I will leave.
You will
I will
leave?
leave this area.
Okay. How exactly are you going to leave? How will you depart?
Super quietly and
Just like walking backwards.
yeah, just like
Okay.
We're just leaving this guy.
We're just gonna depart.
See you later, guys.
the bushes.
Okay.
Oh, actually, yeah. Do the because I am very small.
Yes.
Do the
Is he
bushes look
recording
like
like
they
me?
would help me if they did wake up? Block me at all from them since they're so thick?
The webs you talking about?
No, the trees and such behind me.
Yes, if you this area here is almost impenetrable. Like you can just get into like the side of the trees, but that's like, I mean, you couldn't get much further than that. Quite honestly, it would certainly obscure you, but you'd have a hard time moving through it very quickly.
Yeah, I just want to duck into there for now, and hopefully they settle down.
Okay, make a stealth check for me, please. I would normally give you advantage. I'll just balance it out. Just have a regular stealth check. No advantage or disadvantage. Actually, wait, before you do that. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Before, no, that cancel that roll. So I want
Okay,
to mention,
I will.
this is a good time to mention to chat that we have, in our system, we have an inspiration mechanic. And the way an inspiration mechanic works is that they get to roll, and then they get to roll at advantage, which means they take the higher of the two rolls. Now, as we speak, if I can quickly pull up my chat window, we have, let's see. Here are the people that are capable of inspiring our players. And the way that they do it is they literally say !inspire, space, whoever they want to inspire, Rosie or Robar or Inga or Tawny Bear, whoever it happens to be. And that person will get inspiration, which they can use to turn in basically for advantage whenever they like. You get this by supporting the Patreon at the $10 or the $20 level. So those are the characters that are able to do it. If you wish to do this and you are not on this list, you can do so if you wish to jump on board with the Patreon. And oh, you probably should be, Classicor. Yeah, you probably should be. So Classicor, you get an Inspire, and you can use it if you wish, Classicor. I haven't had a chance to add you back into the list this month yet, because I've been traveling. But do you wish to use that, Classicor? You can if you wish. Under no circumstances am I doing this because I think that, you know, it would be a good thing to make this role work. I mean, you know, not at all. Just saying.
You're feeling remorse.
Now we have to suffer the 10-second delay, and then however long it takes Classicor to type it out. Nah.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
I mean,
yeah,
yes.
no. Okay, so Classicor is going to inspire. I'm going to guess that he's inspiring Rosie, but if I'm wrong, then you can correct me. So, assuming that you're inspiring, and you don't actually, I mean, I don't want to make you have to use this. You can save the inspiration for when you need it, Rosie, but you can, if you wish, use that here. I just don't want to do the work to add you back in. No, I actually don't. This is a lot easier. So.
Do you want me to re-roll that check?
Yes, I do, but you can re-roll it at. Well, you do not have to inspire if you don't want to. I mean, use inspiration. It's up to you.
Do you want me to call it beforehand?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Well, sure then.
Okay.
Derp. Oh, sweet, sweet death. 24.
Wow, look at that. Or
Sweet release.
23. There you go. Okay. That's okay. That's okay. It was all the karma of it. So thank you,
Homer
Classic Lore.
Simpson.
Oh, and very quickly, I should say, by the way, for all who are interested, stick around at the very end of this session because I'm going to make an announcement about D&D and Classicor that the chat will want to hear. So definitely stick around for that. Okay, now, you were able to very carefully sort of sneak in between. You find it unbelievable as you're moving, Rosie, that they can't see you. Like, they're just like, you know, that type of thing. But you were able to, you know, basically make your way over into, if you want to be here, you can be, or here, wherever you like. Basically one of these three squares you could get into, if you wish. So you choose where.
There we
Okay.
go.
And you're able to sneak underneath that, and you see them sort of chittering this way. Now, Inga, you hear the sound of chittering and movement, but you can't see anything. And Robar, let me see if you can from that distance. Yeah, I think you can. You can see just the lead of these two spiders kind of looking over in your direction.
Yeah. Okay.
Great.
Okay. I'm gonna back off a little bit here
Okay.
because this does not seem like a good idea. In fact, probably what I'll do is instead of backing off, kind of dive into cover here
Okay.
behind the wall.
Make a stealth check for me then for that one. This will be a little easier because you're not going very far, but you are going to be in their line of sight
Let's
for
see
a minute.
if it makes a difference.
Robar, the Dunedain,
9.
not stealth driven. Fortunately for you, though, they are at a decent distance from you. I think this is... Actually, I don't remember what the scale is. I want to say 5 feet per... I think it's anyway. I believe that should be 5 feet. So, 15, 20, 25, yeah. So you're about 60, 65 feet away.
Okay.
And they didn't quite hear where you were from, so it seems like they didn't notice you as you ducked in behind cover. So you are now behind cover, and Inga, you're kind of dangling on the wall. And so, the question I want to ask all of you is, thinking about what it is that you want to do. And as you guys are thinking, coming from the webbed bundle, you suddenly hear this plaintive, presumably this is coming as a result of whoever the person was hearing the sound of the chittering. You hear a scream, and it's loud, and he's up high, which is basically, "Help! Help me! Help me!" This loud, "Help me! Help me!" thing. Loudly, clearly sounds like Baldur's voice. Tawny Mare, make a perception check for me, please.
Okay.
Hey, nice.
You very faintly hear the sound of "Help me" somewhere off in the forest. And Belgo looks up at you, and you look down at him, and Belgo says, "That was my dad's voice." And Belgo, looking at you, runs off. And that, I think, is where we are going to leave it for today.
Oh God, no!
With
No literal
Inga is
cliffhangers.
literally at a cliffhanger. I
Yeah.
always try to provide when I can.
Gosh.
And yes, Tawny Bear is Belgo is taken off. Robar is looking.
I break his legs.
Around, I was going to say around the stone, and Rosie is in there, and you guys are in a difficult webbed situation. But good stuff today, guys. I told you there was going to be more action. By the way, as a quick note, depending on whether you guys make it through this encounter, when you survive it, you will then be able to see the results of the journey that you took. The journey basically is a combination of the events you've had so far in this one, and I have been keeping track of how you guys have been doing, basically. So you will see the results of that journey and what happens next.
There will be a quiz.
When we get to the next session, yes, there'll be a quiz, so please note that. Yeah, it's always the best moment to stop when a player yells, "Oh God, no!" Exactly.
I already can
exactly.
see it like next time we start. There's like the recap, and then it's just like
And you're in the middle of it.
panning along with
Yep.
the action, and then stopping on me, time freeze, and then like voiceover. This is me. You're probably wondering how.
Here's how this happened. Yep, exactly. I love it. Also, Terry Tunes, you have been inspired by Kilobyte. So please make a note of that. So you've got an advantage that you'll be able to use. Who knows what you'll be using it for, but I can see possibilities. You know, I'm just saying it.
Writing that down.
I'm just saying it. So
Just click it on your sheet.
yes, just click the inspiration on your sheet. You can mark it
Right
off.
next to strength at
Yep.
the top of your stats.
Also, quick shout out to Fender Saxby. Fender Saxby, as you guys know, has been helping with the character sheets and everything. He also went in and actually added in the maps and like a bunch of stuff, and he just volunteered to do all this. So, as Will always says on his channel, you're an officer and a gentleman, sir, or a gentleman and a scholar, I guess you say. So, nice work, Fender Saxby. Much love. Thank you so much. When you see the VOD, I don't think he's in here live, but when you see the VOD, thank you very much for the assist, again, as always. Also, thanks to everybody in chat. I'm going to let the players go because I know Will needs to get going at the top of the hour, but then chat, stick around because I do have an announcement about D&D, and you guys are not going to want to miss it. So do not leave upon the end of this. I'll start with Rosie, with Lauren, and I'll move upwards. I'm still in the character mode. I'll start with Lauren and I'll move upwards. Lauren, where can the folks, besides 2 weeks from now, back on this channel, where else can they see you?
You can see me on Will's channel and kind of roleplay on Mondays for lots and lots of shenanigans. We're playing Lost Mines of Phandelver, and it's awesome.
Nice.
And I'm on Twitter at That Salty Ginger.
Very, very cool. Good stuff today. Rosie, I have a feeling your stealth is going to come in a lot of use coming up. I have a feeling.
Homer Simpson in the bushes.
Exactly, just melts back. My favorite gif ever.
Yes.
Moving right along, Will, great job again today. Robar, who is actually the Homer part, not the Hudge part, but just banging into the head.
Yes.
Is basically that's what it is. But good job today, Will. When will the folks see you? He said archly, like 3 minutes from now.
Yeah, I'm about to go stream actually now. So you can find me over on my channel and kind of roleplay. I'm a D&D streamer by trade, but at night I become something else entirely.
Live Jasmine.
A live Jasmine streamer primarily. So yeah, you can find me over there. I've got a Kickstarter as well. You might want to check it out if you like D&D stuffs. But I recommend sticking around here for a bit. And I want to hear this announcement, but I've got to go stream. So someone tweet at me what happens.
Okay,
Let me
we'll
know.
do that. Good job today, Will. Will, just before you go, link your Kickstarter so people can check it out. Too.
Oh, good shout. This is the Kickstarter.
And thank you, sir. Moving right along up to Terry Tunes. Terry, when will the fine folks see you here next?
Well, I assume next Tuesday, same time, same channel.
Correct, but not
yes.
for this. Next Tuesday is actually just you and me with our... What is it, he said?
Fighting Fantasy live streams,
Yes.
where Arv goes along and plays with you guys in the audience. The Fighting Fantasy Choose Your Own Adventure books for Crypt of the Sorcerer. And while you guys are doing that, I'll be sitting in the back, making puns on occasion, and also drawing whatever happens right there and then.
Terry has had some great ones on this book. This has been a productive... lots of drawings that are possible with this book.
Yes, and you can look at all of these drawings on like all of the internet thingies I am on, like Tumblr and Twitter and DeviantArt and all those things. They're all online there, all under the name TariTunes. Just punch my name into Google and you will get somewhere with my pictures on.
Also, Terry has a Patreon that you guys should sub to, as I have, so you can get some of that art and high-res stuff as well. Thank you, Terry, and I will talk to Terry, of course, next week. Well, I mean, I'll talk to her before that, but I'll talk to her on stream next week. And last but certainly not least, Tren, when will the folks see your fine personage again, sir?
Probably on this channel.
Mm-hmm.
No, Thursday over on Not So Speedrun's channel where we were playing Blades in the Dark.
That was fun. I got a chance to see some of that finally. So, yeah.
Love that game so much. I didn't think I would, but I do. Also, I think that you should start referring to raisins as lich fruit.
Lich fruit.
Okay,
I love it.
Lich fruit. And aside from that, you will also hear me if you are fans of Skyrim at all. Last weekend on Saturday, July 1st, which was probably the weekend before that, we released Beyond Skyrim Bruma on the Skyrim Nexus, and I am all over that
Every
thing.
voice.
Embarrassingly all over that thing. And it's getting a lot. Very soon, they will be releasing the special edition version, or the 1.3 patch, which should address the special edition version of Skyrim and make it functional with that. So, Lich Fruit, go.
Good stuff. Thank you to all of my players. I'll let you guys go so Will can go stream. Thank you to everybody. I will see you all in our various places. Good job tonight. Hope you guys had fun. You did well, and more to come, of course. So I'll see you guys soon. Chat, can we get some love for our players as I move over to my screen? Tren, Terry, Will, Lauren, thanks, everybody. Catch you guys soon.
Thank you. Bye.
See you
Bye.
guys. Okay. So that's going to take care of it for them. But as I said, do not leave because we've got other stuff going on. And let me log out of my awesome, that I'm very excited about music. Although we're about to get some actual battle music, which is going to be a little bit different. So thank you very much for the follow, whoever this is. Vettel585. Thanks for the follows, everyone. I think we have finally hit 4,500 followers, which is pretty cool. So that's awesome. So we have two announcements here. That are coming up. Now, the first one deals with Classicor. If you guys are a member of the Arvanauts, and to do that, you just need to follow the channel. If you are willing to sub to the channel, so much the better. If you're willing to support the Patreon, even better. If you're willing to, do the Discord, the the YouTube, all that kind of good stuff. All that's awesome. But Classicor and I have been talking for a while about doing something like this, and Classicor is going to be doing a community D&D game. It's going to be hosted on this very channel, but I will not be DMing it. It will be Classicor DMing it. And we have been getting ready to do it, and we sort of announced this, did a soft announcement. This is the official hard announcement, like the get ready. So if people are interested, you should know that Classicor is going to be DMing Dungeons & Dragons for people. He's going to be doing a campaign. I don't actually remember which campaign it is, but Classicor is going to be doing it. Now, for those of you who don't know, Classicor is the first Arvanaut idol, so he is a fine writer, and he is doing this stuff, and so he is going to be doing this. So, if anyone is interested, and please, you guys should join up. Like, a lot of you who want to play D&D and are like, where do I find D&D? You find it right here. You can find it with me, with my D&D with viewers, or you can find it with people like Classicor. So he's going to be DMing it. So probably the best way to get a hold of him, I think, although Classicor can tell me if I'm wrong, is either to private message him, whisper him through Twitch, or to get onto my Discord channel and to message him via Discord. If you type in !Discord, you will get there. It is D&D 5th edition in the Spelljammer setting, or Doctor Who. So he's either going to be doing Doctor Who or D&D 5e Spelljammer. Awesome either way. Either one of those would be sweet. I would love to see either of those. So if you guys are interested, then you should either Discord message Classicor or whisper him. But here's the key, guys. I need you to do this ASAP because I want to get this started. I want to be able during the summer to be able to have a couple of these extra sessions because it's not a lot of extra work for me, but I would like to be able to see it on my channel. So you guys should do this, like get in contact with him now, like today. Contact him, drop him a message, let people know. Anyone who's watching on the VOD, contact Classicor. You can see the spelling of it right here on stream, on the chat, because I'm looking forward to these. I don't know how many players he can run with. I assume at least 3 and probably no more than 6, but I'll let him decide that. But all we need is 3 people at least, and I would love to see that happen. So definitely check out with him, whisper him, and I'm interested to see what happens. So that's my first announcement, which I think I'm excited. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm certainly excited for that. That's announcement number 1. And thank you for the follow, by the way, Bodhi. Thanks to all the different follows, guys. I appreciate that. It was good stuff. That was announcement number 1. Now, the second announcement is, if I can just find my folder. Hold on before I make this announcement. I don't want to make this announcement until I make sure that I have what I need to have. But I think I do. Yes, I do. Lovely. Okay. The second announcement is that I've been doing this for the first 2 sessions. This is the 3rd session as well. This is the 3rd and final session that I'll be doing this. We are giving away a copy of this, the Player's Guide, and a copy of this, the Lore Master's Guide. So we are giving away copies of this, the PDF copy, not the physical copy, but we are giving away PDF copies of this courtesy of Cubicle 7, which sponsored us. So we have given away a copy of one of each of these the last 2 sessions. So this is the 3rd and final time that we'll be doing that until I can convince them to let me give away more of their stuff. But Cubicle 7 has officially sponsored us. So if you would like a copy of one of the 2 of these, you guys have come to the right place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a giveaway title here, and I think the first one makes sense, and that is, there we go, Spiders. If you are interested in this, Doctor Who RPG is also by Cubicle 7. I forgot about that. If you end up doing Doctor Who, I might be able to talk to them about this Classicor. We'll see. So Spiders, if you guys are interested in winning a copy of the Player's Guide, so this is for the Player's Guide. This is the Player's Guide. If you want a copy of this, please type in the word Spiders. Okay? Spiders. Also, please don't enter if you won a Player's Guide already. Obviously. If you've won a Player's Guide already, please don't do that. But otherwise. Spiders. Yes, Doctor Who D&D. Yes. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I mean, that's right. It's its own system, but it's Doctor Who role-playing, basically. Who are you? DWDND. Well, Terry, I mean, I know that you're not, it's not like you live in the same country that Classicor does, so I don't know how time zones would work. Oh, wait! Just saying. Okay. Okay. Let's do last call on this. Last call. Okay, last call to win a copy of the Player's Guide PDF courtesy of Cubicle 7. Approximate value $30, $40, something like that. That is not happening this month, Kilobyte, because I already did the Chat Chosen game with Lionheart. So I'm not doing another vote for that, largely because I've got still more. I'm finishing up travel. I've got the convention travel in Boston. So that's why. Next month, I'm doing. I will have caught up with everything, and next month I'll be back to my normal Chat Chosen. So. Yeah, the symbol, Big Boss, the prefix is not something I have control over. They assign you a prefix, so they just that's what they signed. Actually, it might not be. It might be just. I think it's that. I think it's all down below. So. But yeah. So. All right, so we got this last call. So let's see who actually wins this. Nurgobert. Nurgobert is the winner. Nurgobert is the winner of the Player's Guide. Congratulations, Nurgobert. Please, Nurgobert, what I would like you to do is to send me please send me a Twitch private message. Do not whisper it, not a whisper. Send me a Twitch private message, and when you get the Twitch private message, what do we have? We have my son?
And me.
And my daughter.
He heard you and he really wanted to come in.
Hello, my son.
He kept on like making really crying noises because he wanted you.
Hello, my son. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who? Da 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 da
Cute, keep
da
up.
da 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 da. You clap? Yay! You did it. He has just started to. He's just started walking, so he's got a lot of these. No, you're not going to hit the computer. So he's just started walking, so he's doing a lot of the walking steps and stuff like that. So he's definitely kind of there. 13 months now, and this one, of course, 9.5. Okay, stop it with the cuteness. That's what it's about. So, Nurgobert, so please send me a... That's right. Send me, please, a Twitch private message, and as soon as you send it to me, I will... well, not as soon, but sometime today, I will respond to it, and I'll send you a link so you can download the PDF. Ah!
Hey, Len.
Woo. I know, he's like, I must see this keyboard. I know you want to type on it, honey, but I can't have you do that. Okay. So that is the first one. Now the second one is for the Lore Master's Guide.
Here.
And for that...
Did they get the person out of the spiderweb?
Nope.
Oh.
We actually stopped in the middle of that.
Duh.
So... Oh my gosh. There we go. Giveaway admin. I got it. Dash S. This one is... Webs. So if you were interested in winning the Lore Master's Guide, please type in the word webs.
Webs.
And the only person not eligible for this is Nurgobert, because Nurgobert just won the Player's Guide.
Webs.
But everybody else is eligible if they want.
Webs.
Oh, a session with you and Darkside Rob would be, yeah, that'd be
What happened?
interesting. Webs. This
Webs.
Webmaster Guide. Yeah, that's right. Big Boss won one, so. Also not eligible. Yep, because Big Boss already won it. It's good, isn't it? They just released a new guide called the Rovanen, I think it is, guide.
You can't do
So,
webs. You have
can't
to
help
do
webs.
webs. You already did webs. You can't do it again, Classicore.
All right, so we've got 3 people. That's it? Only 3 people, really?
That's crazy. I thought I said more.
Yeah, right now we got 3 people. 33.3333333%.
Raps? No.
I imagine everyone who watches the VOD afterwards is like, oh, I wish I could enter the thing and type in the stuff and all, but... Okay. Look careful of this wire. You got him?
You, baby, you're so cute.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye, baby.
Oh, no problem.
The door. Success.
Yes. We'll have to close it.
Disqualified. Yeah, raisins. That's fine. I can close it. Okay, guys. So the winner is... The winner is... Lake on Twitch. It is. It's amazing. He's big for his age too, Terry. Lake on Twitch is the winner. So Lake on Twitch has won. Dun dun dun. The Lore Master's Guide in PDF form. Yeah, rigged. So thanks again to our official sponsors. Thank you to Cubicle 7. And yeah, being only slightly not in my favor. That's right. So congratulations, Lake on Twitch. And congratulations to Nergabert. And thank you again to Cubicle 7 for their official sponsorship of the campaign. Hopefully I will get them to be able to sponsor, add some other stuff I can do down the line. But they've been very generous. So thank you so much to that. Finally won one. It finally happened, Lake. We always knew that there was a chance, but it's finally actually come to pass. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. At the top of the hour, I'm going to be back at you guys over at GOG. So about 45 minutes from now, I will be over at GOG.com playing the Storm King's Thunder, as we will be continuing in that vein. So I will be doing that at the top of the hour, playing there for about 3 hours, and then I will be done for the day, and I will then be back to you guys on, if all goes well, Friday, where I will be streaming to you live from the East Coast. I'll still be on the road, but I'll be in Boston. I'm going to be at ReaderCon doing a convention that I do there every year. I'm going to be on a panel about the politics of villains, and then I'm going to be doing a reading from my novel Renegade, and this will be the first time in the continental United States that anyone has heard a reading of this particular thing. So if you guys are in the Boston area, in Quincy, Massachusetts specifically, I'd love to see any or all of you there. That's going to be this coming Friday. But anyway, that is going to do it for me for tonight. I want to remind everybody about, again, Steam Group, YouTube, that's !RFTube, !Steam Group, reverse those, !Steam Group, !RFTube, Discord to get involved in the Discord. Please follow the channel. Please support the Patreon, !RFTreon. It makes it possible for us to do what we do here. And also, please support the channel by subbing as well. That's that sub button right below. You're going to have special emotes coming your way, plus a couple of other surprises happening very soon. And again, if you are interested in D&D 5th Edition Spelljammer or Doctor Who RPG with other Argonauts, please contact Classicore as soon as you can. And yes, the translation, I love Classicore, but I'd like both if we can certainly get it, so we'll see. So that's the deal with that. Thank you to everybody who made this such an awesome stream. We're not going to do a raid because I'm going to be at GOG at top of the hour. But thank you to my wonderful mods, to Kilobyte and Dragonspear. Thank you to my wonderful viewers, to Brahms, Beautiful Bear, Big Boss, Kalen, Classicor, Dapper Eggplant. What a great name. I hope you enjoyed the stream and will consider following and supporting it with subbing or Patreon if you can. Thank you to Dino Thunderlung, to Don Cairo, what's up, man, who's in my Infinity and Beyond campaign, which will be returning soon. Thank you to ECAG, to Fagwent, to Jedi Knight, to Jet Lee 9991. I love all your work, Jet Lee. Thank you to Lake on Twitch, congratulations. Thank you to Miles Jacob, Nergobert, congratulations, Nergobert. Thank you to Nonstop, PKD Fan. Thank you to Poltergeist Zero, Squeaky Fox, Terry Tunes, great job tonight, Terry. The Red Rabbit, I like that name too. Thank you to TNS Mephiston. Thank you to Trendane. Again, good job tonight, Trendane. Thank you to Trouden, Uncle Elias, and Wordpacks. Wordpacks, same thing. Hope you liked it, supported the stream, etc., etc., etc. Sounds good, Lake on Twitch. I appreciate it. Thanks to everybody here. You guys are the best, and thanks to all of my players. Adventures in Middle-earth will return in 2 weeks. Next week on the same time slot, Terry Tunes and I will return with Fighting Fantasy Gamebook number 26, I believe it is. Yes, as we play Crypt of the Sorcerer with live illustrations and finish up that book. But now, top of the hour, about 40 minutes from now, you will see, or 45 minutes from now, you will see me on GOG playing Pen and Pixels and Storm King's Thunder. See you all then. Until then, thanks everybody. Love you all. Best viewers on Twitch. Have a good one. Be good to each other. See you soon. Good night.